Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to run through a few agenda items because we didn't have a closed session, but it is on the agenda. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the closed session items, and then we'll reconvene to open session, but we will be here in front of you and it might take a couple minutes. So I'm going to start with call to order. Rick Diaz.
Here.
Thank you. Adriana Ramirez.
Here.
Martha's in the restroom. She'll be here shortly. Angelo DeMarco.
Present.
Okay. And our wonderful student board member.
Present.
Okay. Next, we're going to go to public comment on closed session. Is there any public comment on closed session items? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to move to Zoom. Nope. Okay. We're going to close public comments on closed session, and we're going to recess to closed session. We were returning from closed session at 6:03, but we're going to reconvene to open session. And then our next item is we're going to have the flag salute. Please rise. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're moving on to item H, report of action taken in closed session, and there was no actions taken in closed session. Next, we're going to move to the adoption of the agenda. I invite a motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second. Perfect.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody opposed, abstain? Okay. Adrian, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next we're going to move on to adoption of the consent. I invite a motion.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, we'll start with our preferential student member. Okay, aye. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any abstentions? Okay, motion carries unanimously. And now we will be moving on to recognitions and presentations. We're going to start with the recognition of achievement for our high school students at California Skills USA State Competition. Please come up to the podium.
Fancy red jacket.
I can't see.
I love it.
Come on up. Don't be shy. Please come up to the podium so we can see you.
This is your night.
Wow. Sure. Hi, Mrs. Tynan, you want to come to the front and say a few words before we go through our board recognition speech?
Oh,
Is the mic on? Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Heather Tynan, and I'm the CTE Engineering Pathway Teacher. First, I'd like to thank the board for inviting our teams here tonight. And a special thank you to our College and Career Readiness Coordinator, Pat Bowman, for going above and beyond to support our students. Skills USA gives students the opportunity to apply what they learn in the CTE engineering pathway in real-world competitive environments. It emphasizes not only technical ability, but also key soft skills like teamwork, problem solving, and performing under pressure. This year, we brought 12 engineering students to the regional competition, and all 6 teams earned a medal and advanced to state. This is all of them. At the state level, 3 of those teams medaled as well. I'd like to briefly introduce our students and share their competitions. In interactive applications and video game development, Ernesto Duarte and Dante Vega. So students designed a complete interactive product for over 6 months, from concept and artwork to coding a playable prototype and presenting their work to judges and peers. Ernesto and Dante are great examples of long-term growth. They first competed as sophomores using Python and have since pushed themselves to learn C# and Unity, tools used in industry. Each year, they've improved their ranking in a highly competitive field.
Yay!
Hello, my name is Ernesto Duarte Hernandez, and like Ms. Tanner was saying, this is was our third and final year competing at the Skills USA, and the things I want to have planned for the future is pursuing the mechanical engineering pathway.
My name is Dante Antonio Vega, and I'm also a part of this competition, or at least the past 3 years. For me, I plan to go to UC Santa Cruz and go to get my bachelor's degree in computer science.
In mechatronics, we have Evan Birmingham and Luis Resendez. Jose Gomez and Christopher Hernandez. And our state silver medalists, Marcos Mendoza and Leandro Montoya. In the mechatronics competition, the judges set a very high bar, pushing students to perform at an advanced technical level. Students completed multiple challenges, including written assessments, building and troubleshooting electrical circuits, multimeter measurements, interpreting schematics, and using software to diagnose and control mechatronic systems.
My name's Evan Birmingham, and I went into this competition feeling a little bit nervous. I think I'd like to say thank you to my teacher, Ms. Tynan, for helping me learn these skills, because otherwise I don't think I would have gone as far as I did. Thanks to my partner, Luis, I think we've built a strong level of teamwork and cooperation, and the test really relied on that. I believe my goal right now is to try to look for a job in the medical field. I haven't really found a college in mind, but I'm looking for the future right now.
Wonderful.
Right?
My name is Luis Resendez Ayala, and this year has been a new experience. This is my first year in Skills USA, and it's something new that I experienced. Yeah, I met new people, new teachers too, because Miss Tan has been a good teacher this year, and it helped me a lot carve my way into computer science. Yeah.
Wonderful.
My name is Chris Hernandez. This is also my first year doing Skills USA, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to compete at the state level in mechatronics. You know, it was really kind of eye-opening into like what a mechanical engineer would do in a way. That's what I want to be, and I feel like this competition really helped me understand what I would need to improve on and what I need to do to pursue an education in engineering.
Wonderful.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys all find yourself doing amazing this day. Basically, in this class, I've learned many skills, ranging from problem solving to actually developing like all types of symbols using a computer and programming, basically. And as much as I initially wanted to become an electrical engineer, I have now leaned on to poli-sci to become a lawyer. Specifically
Nice.
talking, I'm still up for debate, but enough said. I'm glad to take those problem solving skills that I've learned in this class onto the law field. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Ms. Tynan.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, this fall I will be attending the University of Notre Dame, which thankfully I matched with Questbridge, and I'll be getting a full ride.
Yeah.
I'm Leandro Montoya. This was my first year doing Skills USA, my first time as committee mechanics. Going in, I didn't really know how like any of the tests or what any of the content was going to be like, but it was definitely a really fun challenge, both leading up and in competition, where I had no idea what I was going to be going up against, but I had a really good team behind me and a really good instructor that I was able to just deal with any challenge that was put in front of me. This fall, I plan to study engineering at the University of Southern California.
Yes. Thanks.
Hello. Hope you guys are doing good. My name is Marcos Mendoza. This year was my second year competing in mechatronics. So I did mechatronics last year. And I believe I got third in state last year. So this year, second in state. So some improvement. I think to say that Skills USA has had a large effect on my life would be an understatement. But one core memory I can have is Miss Tynan bringing up the idea of Skills USA my junior year when I first had to do it. I was so scared. So I was like, I have to go somewhere and do something. But it ended up being one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life. It really, from being here to being out there and exposed to just all the, like they have so many presentations on just all the innovation, all the new stuff, and then to even just be surrounded by like-minded people who want to pursue their careers in education, even if it's not just in engineering. It's been just truly a great experience. Again, thank you, Ms. Tynan. And I'm gonna pursue my I'm gonna continue to pursue my education at Hartnell for transfer for the hopes of mechatronics degree.
Wonderful.
All right, thank you. In robotics and automation, our state bronze medalists, Isaac Fernandez and Eder Martinez. And our state champions, gold medalists, Ethan Craig and Avery Regal.
Wow.
Students were given a prompt in 2.5 hours to design and execute a solution. They worked as a team to develop a plan, reorganize their workspace, and program the industry standard robotic arm to complete the task.
Hello, my name is Avery Regal. I've been on the engineering pathway for 3 years now, but this is my first time doing Skills USA, and I'd like to pursue robotic engineering in the future. I'll be going to Hartnell in the fall, and I'd like to say thank you to my teacher for giving me this opportunity.
Hello, my name is Isaac Fernandez. This is my first year in robotics, and honestly, I want to say that I was like super nervous going to this competition. Like the first 3 months of going, I was like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. And I want to say thank you to Ms. Tynan for pushing me to come do this and get out of my comfort zone and do something new. I still have one more year, and I'm probably going to do another year of this because I really did enjoy it. And when I graduate, I plan to get a degree in engineering at Cal Poly.
Hi, my name is Eder Martinez, and this is also my first year doing Skills USA. I would like to thank Ms. Tynan for helping us with the robotics thing and helping us and just helping us learn more stuff. I'd also like to thank Mr. Bowman for during the trip. He was actually really helpful during the trip with Ms. Tynan. And I'm trying to pursue the mechanical engineering program career. And the colleges I'm trying to go is UC Santa Cruz or CSUMB for mechatronics in case I'm trying to pursue something else.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ethan Craig, and this is my second year in the engineering pathway and first year in skills. And to be honest, I didn't think I would win, but I want to thank Miss Tynan because funny enough, she asked me to do it last year too, but I declined and I figured, why not?
Yep.
Might as well this year. And yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, and I plan to go to UCSC for electrical engineering next year.
Wow.
All right, thank you again. Just super proud of these students, the level of professionalism, persistence, just figuring things out in the moment. They just did a fantastic job, so thank you.
Well, thank you. I think we're going to have some comments from the board, and we're going to start with our student. Congratulations. Angelo?
I got a few things. Well, first, Miss Tynan, for no, you're get away, Miss Tynan. You're welcome. You want to take a photo first? I'll wait for Miss Tynan to get to the podium.
He wants you closer to the podium. I'm sorry. Angelo, maybe she can't hear you because
Can you not hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Can you hear me now? No, Miss Tynan, I just really want to say thank you for all the hard work that you've done with Skills USA. I've known you now for about 5 years working with you. You're one of the greatest treasures of our school district. One of the funny things I also love about you is that you're very humble, and I know compliments make you feel uneasy, but you definitely deserve this. I want the public to know this, what some of the things that Heather has done, or Ms. Tynan has done with Skills USA. She's helped build teamwork and camaraderie with our young students. after last year when you guys won, I talked to a few of the students, and I didn't get a chance to share this last year, but this kind of goes to this year. These kids built such a great teamwork relationship where they got to know each other that last year we had a few students that had never been out of Monterey County. It was their first time leaving the county. They've never been in a swimming pool, and all the Team Skills USA students got together and were teaching other students how to swim. It was just to see the growth in our students and what Skills USA has done. I just cannot express all these positive words. I think Ethan, you're my last student that's about to graduate. I'm very excited to see you here. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing with them. Thank you for showing them that there's more. As long as you can, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of a push is what a lot of students can really benefit from. It's just so exciting to see Skills USA grow. And I just want to say thank you very much for everything you've done with, for this program and growing it.
Thank you, Angelo.
We love when the students come here and speak to us and hear it from you, because I'll just say that the Skills USA program, I've seen it grow within the last years. It's just blossoming and getting better and better. But when you guys walked in, not only the professionalism, but the confidence that you guys have is amazing to see. You know, with those red jackets, you guys just look so confident and ready to conquer the world. And then listening to you guys speak about what you learned and what you gained is just powerful. And that's what it's all about. We board members love to see this, love to hear about this. And we're going to continue to invest in you because that's what it's all about. And we can't wait to see you guys succeed in the future, because you are. Congratulations.
Thank you, Martha. You want to say? Sure, we'll let you talk to Sure.
So it is really great seeing you all here. And I think the skills which you're learning in Skills USA is really helping you with college and career readiness. Okay. The kind of things which you'll need when you go to college, when you work with teams on solving problems, real world problems, which is also going to help you when you go out into the job market. Right? What you're going to need to do in careers is solve problems with teams, right? And that's exactly what you're doing in Skills USA. So hats off to you all, and really, really glad that you had this opportunity, and it's been such a positive experience. Ms. Tynan, thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Adriana?
Mrs. Titan, thank you for some of the students mentioned that you like kind of guide them. They said push, but guide them to be part of it. I think that our students are very capable. They're very smart. They're role models, but that sometimes they need to hear it from the adults and hear it from mentors like you, that they can do it. And I think that that's really powerful that you got them to that stage. So thank you for doing that, because you could have easily just done your class and you didn't. You decided to make sure our students understood how powerful they are. And for our students, don't ever feel that you can't do stuff. You are powerful. You can have things. You can go to college, go to all these places, try things, get outside the box, go visit places, because you are very talented, smart, brilliant. You belong in all these spaces, and you are going to continue to do amazing. Congratulations. And come back into our communities and do amazing things, and come back and guide other students to continue to do the amazing things that all of our North County students are capable of. So congratulations.
Thank you, Adriana. Rick?
Oh, great work. Great speaking about to us through your public comments, or I mean, yeah, just telling us your stories and stuff like that. It's amazing. And I see I know a lot of you have a lot on your plate with schoolwork, this and I see some student athletes, and you know, you guys probably have a lot of hobbies too. So it's great work that you guys do, and it's you know, led by Miss Tynan and the whole CTE department with Mr. Bowman. But thank you, Miss Tynan. You are a very great leader for these youth, and look forward for the next years of your guys' inventions and work that you guys do. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, I just want to say I'm so impressed by how eloquent all of you are, able to articulate your experience. I see some of you are student athletes. I think there's somebody who set a school record right there, right? Did you? Yes, yes, you did. Congratulations, right, Leandro? Yeah. Um, I think that the most growth in our life happens when we're uncomfortable. And so new experiences can make us uncomfortable. Thinking that we can't do something because it's new makes us uncomfortable. But that's where the growth is. And then the confidence develops because you figure out you are so it is so possible and it's really limitless what you can accomplish. Thank you for helping them to see that in themselves. And I hope that you guys now go out and show the rest of the high school what's possible and talk up the program. And hopefully this has taught you to never shy away from new experiences and to always know your unlimited potential. So thank you so much for coming here and celebrating with us. We're so very proud of you. And we thank you for coming to share your accomplishments with us. And Ms. Tynan, we'd like a picture. If you could come up in the front, please. Everyone squeeze in.
Right on, Ms. Tynan, center. Kids are more pretty. And Mr. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
Yeah.
We didn't need to, because Miss Tynan.
Miss Tynan had it covered. She was prepared. She was ready to roll.
I'm just so glad. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, next we're going to call up Castroville Elementary presentation and update. Yay!
Okay, let me get this right. I just want to get this right first. So, yeah. No. Okay. So, no, I gotta leave it. Good evening.
Good
Again,
evening.
hello again, Board of Trustees, Presidents Sancheries and Superintendent Turkey. Here was our team here, please here. We're gonna move as fast as we can. Last night we had a big open house. That was the open house of the century. It was the biggest thing that they've ever seen. So we're kind of all just like, it lasted into
Wiped out. Okay.
We had food trucks and stuff. So anyway, so we are at Castroville. We are just still under 600 students. We have 58% are English language learners. 41 are on academic IEPs. But what we're proud of and we're excited about is that the entire year we have maintained a daily average attendance of above 95.3 through 96.3. Even in December when it plunges, we stayed above 95.5. And the reason that's exciting is because it means our kids are wanting to come to school. We do definitely provide an optimal, happy environment for our students. I do want to emphasize that we have 33 long-term English learners because for this year, our highlights really have been 50% of our energies have been channeled to English learners. Our two highlights are our English learners and our students with disabilities, because as the dashboard, not just here, everywhere for English learners and students with disability, it's they flatline. So we have just the right team this year. We really dug into the English learners. Long-term English learners, for those of you who don't know, are those students who reach 5th grade without reaching English proficiency, and they've been in the system. 33 does not sound like a lot of long-term English learners, but if you multiply that by 4 elementary schools, you have 120 long-term English learners stuck that go to the middle school without reclassifying. So that has been our very intense and collaborative energy. That's where we channeled it. So that is one highlight. I do want to say that last year we reclassified 22 students. This year our goal was 44. And what is projected is that we are going to reclassify 52. So, and 17 of those 52 are long-term English learners. We're super excited about that. Karen's going to get into that. The other is our students with disabilities. What we've done is we have continued, I'm not going to go through everything, but we've continued with these PLCs to continue our success that we got last year, very structured PLCs. But what we added was an RSP collaborative. In my 26 years in education, I've never seen a collaborative, like the students with disabilities and the RSP and the SPED teams are kind of out here on the periphery because they have different challenges. And when your data cycles are focused on one thing and you have all these, it just hasn't happened. Again, we have the right team. We have a collaborative going. We meet bi-weekly, and we have our RSP with their 3 aides. Admin and TOS is all in there, providing multi-tiers of expertise and support around moving those students with disabilities. You will not see it on a dashboard this year because we focused on our English learners for 8 months. For 8 months, we provided professional development training, modeling to get our English learners and our school-wide goals around that English learner development and is designated ELD. It's providing and producing incredible results for those 2 groups. So that's, I'm going to let the others speak. We're still doing this with intervention. What has opened up this year is we're hyper-focused on the multisyllabic words because that's where the crisis lay. Students get to 4th through 6th grade. They don't have the reading comprehension piece because that end of 2nd grade multisyllabic with 3 and 4 syllable words is where we get hung up because our curriculum pacing, we don't just take the time that we used to in the olden days around breaking down those, and English learners have even more of a challenge with those multisyllabic words. So that's what we're doing with very rigorous interventions in those upper grades, and we're seeing the results. Again, we're going to be reclassifying way more than we anticipated. I'm just going to go into this real quick. This is our local indicator, ELA iReady, right now from as of our last recent diagnostic in ELA. We have 149 students meeting or exceeding in ELA, whereas in the fall we were at 54. Important to note is in the red, we had 240 that were either 2 or 3 grade levels behind. And now we only have 138. We dropped it in half. And if you look at last year, this time last year, we still had 199 there. We only have 138 now. And if you look at last year, we only had 83 meeting or exceeding, and now we're at 149. So we're moving and shaking in that ELA. If you see, math, same thing. We're at 119 meeting or exceeding in math right now, where we were at 27 in the fall, huge jump. In the red, we're down to 117 from 222. Last year, this time, we were at 166 in the red, 166 students. At 2 or 3 grade levels, we're only at 117. We still have work to do. But if you look at the students and
slow down a little, just so we can hear.
Well, I only have a certain amount. Look at all.
No, don't stress out. Don't stress out. Go ahead. Take your time.
So if you look at the math, now we have 78 students meeting or exceeding, whereas last year at this time we were at 31. No, I'm sorry, in the fall we were at 31. So that's where we are now. So we're getting some growth there. And again, it's just going to come back to our intense focus and our incredible team focused on those tier 1 strategies and those English learners, hyper focused. I one last thing here, over 3 years. If you look in the left quadrant up at the top, 3 years ago in ELA on the CAST, the high stakes test at the end of the year, we were at 25%. Last year we were at 32, a little bit of growth. Math 3 years ago, and on the CAST was 11%. Last year, we were at 28. We are projected, if iReady predicts, is predictable, we are projected to be at, I think it was 32% in math. We did have that math pilot, which we needed, and there's some, there with the math pilot interruption, came some sacrifice that needed to happen. We all know we needed a new math program, but it did come with some sacrifice that kind of, we had to, you know, incorporate brand new math curriculum and get off of our momentum with the previous one. So kind of, but it's worth it. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to our Sammy to talk about our intervention foundation.
Gigi. Do I point over here for clicking here?
Okay.
Good evening, school board members. I'm Sammy, and this is my
Okay, Sammy.
third year as a TOSA at Castroville Elementary. To start, I want to just clarify exactly what I'll be showing you in a brief moment. When it comes to teaching kids how to read, there's a fine science to it. Let's talk kindergarten. So on your screens, on this slide, you see the yellow. So from the beginning to the end of kindergarten, they need to go from 1 to 3B. So they need to end the year showing some kind of proficiency with reading words like hug, tip, cob, wet, and jam. For first grade, they have to reach from 1 to 11. So they need to have that kinder skill and reach 11. That is a monumental task for a first grade teacher. And for second grade, the pressure is really on. By the end of the year, they have to show proficiency in all of those 14 skills. So the test at Castroville that we use to measure these skills is called the BPST, or the Basic Phonics Skills Test. And it's not just another test. We really think of it as a surgical tool because we give this test to a student and we can see where they're getting stuck, and then we know where to target reading instruction, where to really support them. Our teachers and our MTSS assistants really are the engine for this work. They've been working really hard on students' reading instruction. But for that engine to run, it must be unimpeded. We cannot stop that precious work. When our MTSS assistants are pulled for yard duty or LPAC testing, the momentum of our most vulnerable students, the ones who are in those intervention groups, comes to a stop for a little while. Disruptions in service don't just delay progress, but they cause students to lose those fragile skills. And I'm talking K through 3. I do want to thank the board again for funding that additional LPAC support person for this testing season. Because of that investment, we were able to reduce a usual 2-month interruption to just 1 month. Our assistants were able to work more closely and for a little longer time with those teachers. But I do want to show you the fragility in those skills, especially when it comes to kinder. I don't know if this is working. Next. Middle.
Not working. Oh.
There we go. Now here's the proof. We'll just focus on kinder right now on the left side of the slide. That red line is showing that's where they got to meet by the end of the year. So you can see that kinder started at this is an average of our kinder classrooms, all 3 of them at Castroville Elementary. You can see they started pretty close to 0, almost 10. And then try 1, great, great, great. We're moving and shaking. And then try 2. This is the most recent. Oh, we're not really there. And then the projection line is missing. Try 3. It looks like they're not going to meet it, right? We believe it's due to the MTSS assistants still being away. Any kinder teacher will attest to this. You get a kinder student off of their routine for a week, you got to do a whole bunch of reteaching. So this is kindergarten students, they're still in that deposit phase when it comes to, you know, their instruction. First grade though, on target, really helped. That you can see the acceleration happening. They are on the projection line. Grade 2, very, very close. We still have about a month. We're almost there. Very exciting. And grade 3, a beautiful projection. They're pretty much almost there. This is an average, though. We still have students who are not meeting that, but on average, the Castroville Elementary kid in respect to their foundational reading skills, they were doing an awesome job. So where do we go from here? Oops. This visual represents the evolution for intervention at Castroville. Last year, we were really learning the model. So on the left side, small group intervention with the MTS assistants, they were really learning. Now what we're doing is refining, they're gathering data, and they are talking to teachers about students' needs. But the next step is integration. Ms. Chabukas previously talked about these grade level release meetings where teachers meet together and they plan and they create these PDSA goals and, very academically and supercharged meetings, right? And we had the MTSS assistants start attending those, but we want to do it with more frequency in the next year. So what's happening in those small group intervention, it needs to be way more connected to what is happening inside the classroom. It has to be a direct extension of what those students are doing in their gen ed classroom. And I think that's, yeah. Thank you, guys.
That's very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Up next, Miss Newcomb, my fabulous colleague.
Thank you. Good evening. Our site this year has been laser focused on LTELs and English learners. Gigi mentioned, she gave the definitions for LTELs. What's really important to point out in addition is the reason why English learners remain in the LTEL status is due to an equity gap. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. What's going well? We targeted, we have instructional excellence. We've had several key initiatives. We've implemented targeted LTEL support for students that are projected to reclassify. We implemented designated and leveled ELD early on in the year, and it is now in full implementation. Our process, we had 8 months of training, modeling, and collaboration all across grade levels, completely aligned with a research-based ELD framework. The result is we have built teacher capacity for accelerating English learners. Around systems of support, there's 2 things. We really appreciated the LPAC test support that the district provided. That made a huge difference. We've established monitoring protocols by implementing systematic RFEP progress monitoring with the help of Sandra Cuevas. The goal for progress monitoring is to ensure continued growth and to prevent regression after reclassification. This is how our site did it. Our principal gave us a whole day and she released teachers, and we actually went through the progress monitoring process where we looked at the students' data, looked how they were performing in class, looking at their working levels, and then we determined whether or not they needed supports. So we met one-on-one, and that we had huge success with the way we did that. And we plan on continuing that next year. Beginning next fall, we are going to do progress monitoring in the fall, early fall. And that will be when we put supports in place for our reclassified students, that will be part of the RFA process that is currently in place at our school. 2 areas for improvement. We need to sustain educator commitment to rigorous framework-aligned ELD instruction. And then also we need to look at the reclassification timeline for RFEP students. I'll mention a little bit more about that in a second. Next steps. We found a big gap in the data related to our English learners. This is going to be really big for next year. We need to build strong oral language structured routines in all classrooms. And we also need structured vocabulary routines. So that will be implemented this next fall. And then also the initiation of progress monitoring earlier next year. So let's look at the EL performance data. First of all, we'll look at 24-25. When we're talking about equity, wow. So look at the non-English learner. By winter, the non-English learner was at 37%, right? Started out at 23. And if you look at the top, the English learners, we had 0% proficiency in the beginning of last year, and we moved to 6%. So that was a positive movement. This year, you can see there is the equity gap exists and is a big gap, but the great news is that we have a really solid start because we went from 2% proficient to 13% proficient this past winter. So we're on a steep incline, and we're on a good road to close that equity gap. Okay. So we have a request. Well, I didn't- Yeah. Oh, sorry. Request. So in front of you, you have a piece of paper and that kind of represents what we're asking. Our request is an urgent need for timely student reclassification. I'm going to tell you a super brief story. I want you to consider a young lady by the name of Jimena. She's an 8th grade student. She's labeled as an LTEL. She has taken the LPAC 9 years in a row, including her initial LPAC. While her peers moved on to electives, Jimena remained stuck in ELD. She felt left out and defeated. After 9 years of taking the LPAC, she finally passed the 8th grade. She finally passed the LPAC, but because of the delay in the district data sync, her status didn't change in time for high school. Despite meeting every requirement for reclassification, she began her freshman year placed back in ELD. This error cost her a seat in the ag mechanics class she needed for her dream job in future ag robotics. Instead of starting high school with a win, Jimena felt forgotten and started losing interest in school. Her story isn't about the lack of ability, it's about a lack of urgency. We must ensure that our data moves as fast as our students do. So if you take a look at the handout that you have in front of you, there's 5 reasons that we need to reclassify as soon as the student meets the criteria. Number 1, reclassification immediately after a student meets criteria avoids the stigma of the LTEL label, and the label really affects how the students see their own potential. Number 2 is the psychosocial boost. It validates students as language proficient rather than waiting an entire year. 3, this is fascinating, optimizes resources. So focuses support on current ELs who genuinely need it rather than keeping proficient students in ELD classes unnecessarily. So think about it. If we're not reclassifying for a whole year, we have students in our ELD class who don't actually need those supports and who could be in other classes, right? So number 4 expands curricular access. Like I said, access to electives. And the fifth one is ensures legal compliance with California Ed Code and accurate state dashboard reporting. So our request from our site, in order to reclassify students based on best practices, we're asking for 4 things from the district: a prompt data sync once state data is received, an activation on elevation of the RFEP forms cycle, reclassification approval, so streamlining the district process, and synergy alignment so that synergy captures and dates all final milestones for reclassification. This is our request to streamline it and to make it timely, make it for the RFEP students. Thank you. Next, Gigi will discuss LCAP goal number 2.
Welcome.
Good eve. Is this working?
Yeah, it's working. We can hear you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, President Sandra Ruiz, and Superintendent Turkey. My name is Sebastian Hernandez, a 5th grader in Mr. Asiati's class at Castroville. Our assistant principal, Mr. Cannon, could not be here tonight. He is in Arizona to honor the passing of his 102-year-old grandmother.
Oh, wow.
My purpose tonight is to comment on our district's LCAP. Right. My purpose tonight is to comment on our district's LCAP Goal 2 student connectedness. What makes me excited to come to school each day is the interesting things that we get to do. In March, in our robotics class, we designed and built drones. We also got to fly real drones. This month, we are experimenting with 2D and 3D pens. I'm waiting and anxious to build robots in May. Mr. Asiati also makes school fun because he is funny. Sometimes the topics are boring, but then he gets funny and makes it fun. I enjoy the opportunity in our art class, and there are a lot of activities that we get to do in class to calculate math while we're playing games and having fun with it. On our butterfly field trip, we got to see what we were learning about different species of animals such as bat. When I surveyed my friends, they told me that they were connected to school for the following reasons: robotics because of 3D pens, Art, able to make multiple things. Example, clay figures, popsicle stick picture frames to use at home. PE and outdoor activities. My peers love coding classes, and we all love lunch so we could take time to recharge for later learning. I've been at TV since kindergarten, and it got better because we have a lot of new activities that we're able to do that we did not have before. Ms. Chabukas surveyed us last year to ask what we wanted, and now we have a lot of activities and clubs. Weekends have become boring to me because I want to go to school. This is what happens for me. I'm interested and I want to learn. One time I was sick and wasn't going to go to school, and I went anyway. I don't want to miss out. Thank you for having me here tonight, Mr. Turkey.
Thank you, Sebastian.
One of the loves of my life. Right? So I just want to highlight one thing. Last year when I surveyed the students, I knew who was going to say that we took a series of questions and I wanted to know if they were challenged, and I knew exactly which students were going to say that they were bored in school, and it killed me. So this year the highlight is we have an after school robotics program. Sully networked and brought us an incredibly high, very high quality program. Last month, they designed, built, and flew drones. This month, they're experimenting with 2D and 3D. 2D and 3D printers that I got these made. One of the students left these on my desk. This is one of the products. Today, I think they made cup holders. Next month, they are going to be designing and building robots. So that that makes my heart happy, because that was what I aimed for this year for student connectedness. I just wanted to point out that our 5th grade this year is struggling. That is where most of our resources and our human capital, our behavior team is hovering, because the 5th grade, according to surveys and according to the time spent, our 5th grade is struggling with their social, emotional, and connecting to school. Mr. Cannon did a survey and came up with there are 95 of them feel supported and feel heard, but only 62% of them are happy to come to school, and that's a bummer. So right now, Mr. Cannon is working with them to give them the things that they responded to, what would improve that and get them to school and be happy. So let's move on to, and here's some of the connectedness, some images. This is them building. We do everything for we're really optimizing. We have iReady breakfast banquets. We celebrate a lot. We give medals and certificates, and we were all staff during Kindness Week. We every single human being on campus had a pink T-shirt on. We made that happen. So we're really coming together and having a little bit more fun this year instead of just instructionally focused all the time. We sprinkled a little more silliness in there. So we'll go to, we don't need to get into that. And we're going to go to parent. I'm going to turn it over to Sully and Mrs. Choi for parent engagement.
Hi. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, and members of the community. Under LCAP Goal 3, we are seeing strong momentum in building partnerships with our families. ELEC meetings continue to draw high attendance with meaningful engagement, and events like our iReady Award banquets are bringing families onto campus in a positive, student-centered ways. During these banquets, parents receive their students' iReady data. Principal Chabukas alongside Teacher Sammy reviewed school-wide progress, highlighting how students are reaching grade level expectations. Similar to what Teacher Sammy did during LCAP Goal 1, that's what he did with the families, English and Spanish. And through consistent two-way communication across multiple platforms, we are reaching and connecting with more families, engaging over 80 participants at key events. While we are proud of this progress, we recognize the opportunity to go further by expanding meaningful engagement opportunities and increasing family volunteer involvement on campus. Moving forward, we will continue strengthening the systems that are working while intentionally creating more entry points for families to get involved, to build an even stronger foundation for the 26-27 school year. Additionally, Although not reflected on the slide, next week we are hosting a meeting specifically for our Mixteco speaking families to better understand their needs with support from our yard duty, Elizabeth, who will co-facilitate in Mixteco to ensure inclusive and accessible communication. Thank you for your time and continued support for our students, families, and school community, and I will turn it over to Mrs. Choi.
Thank you.
I don't think anyone wants to break this.
No.
So hello, I know I've seen a couple of you guys throughout the year. So I am the chair for the SSC, president for the PTC. I am at all the ELAC meetings, any event, after school clubs, and everything is great, but I'm going to just kind of point out the disconnect. But I do want to give a shout out to everyone doing the ELAC because we have over 100 people attending every single time.
Wow.
So I do want to, so basically at every event at Castroville, it is packed. I don't know if you guys have been to several, but it is packed. Even though, even the open house, there was so many people, lines were forever to get food, and it was great. So I believe at Castroville, we do have very good communication throughout the staff. But the only thing that we can't seem to get are the parents, like parents' involvement. As you guys can see, usually even for the fall festival, we had a couple parents just kind of show up. Maybe I think we had 4 parents that were helping, but for the whole event, it was myself and then somebody else staying till like 9 p.m. the night before. Throughout the whole, few weeks, we had, Gigi, Soli, and a couple other teachers, but a lot of parents will sign up, but they will not show up. So it's pretty hard to keep everything going. And another thing that I do want to bring up, and I'm actually asking for a favor from the district, is that I know you guys have social media. It's 2026. Everybody's on social media. And I see that on your Instagrams or whatever page, I see a lot of staff appreciation, which, I see that and I appreciate that. However, when there are events that the schools are holding, whether it's Castroville, Elkhorn, or wherever, if you guys can actually highlight those as well, even through talking points, because I don't really see anything from the district talking about, with Castroville having, this, Elkhorn having this. So, and then talking point is not really perfect. So a lot of parents don't get notifications. So if you guys can let the community know that we do have events going on, I think overall all the schools will benefit. And hopefully we get more parent volunteers because we have a lot of things planned for next year. Keyword is planned. So we definitely want to make sure everything is done. However, we do need help, not just from the parents, but also the district. So if you guys can, please, social media, anything to just get a word out there so we can have more community involvement. That'd be great. Thank you, everyone.
I want to mention that I had a conversation with a Mixteco advocate. It's along the lines of this. A Mixteco advocate came in and I had a long conversation with him the other day. And what the outcome of that is on Wednesdays, we're going to be opening up our library for Mixteco only. Sully made the flyer today. The next two on April, I think it's April 3rd, April 29th, and then May 11th. It's just for Mixteco only to serve the needs of the Mixteco because they are unique and they seem to slip through the cracks. So we're going to have one of my yard supervisors is Mixteco speaking. She's going to be leading it and facilitating it. So we're going to open up a platform to serve Mixtecos solely, and the entire meeting is solely and entirely for them. I wanted to mention that because it's important. Okay, here we go. And we have staff engagement and connectedness. Come on up. We've gone from last year, we were quite intense and instructionally oriented. There wasn't enough silliness. So
Hello, good evening. I'm Betsy Bobadilla, 3rd grade teacher at Castroville, and I have been begging for a PBIS system at our school for a long time. And we noticed that, so this year we had the first PBIS team, as you can see. And I noticed that the adults need it just as much as the students do. And when we implement these fun activities, and it's just I feel like we're more productive. I feel like we enjoy ourselves, and it's like these pictures. I'll tell you the story behind it. It was so funny. Gigi called Sammy. I have an emergency. Sammy steps out. The emergency was I left my glasses in room 18. Can you please go get them? Sammy takes a picture. We all notice he took a picture. And then we went around. Kate, our psychologist, she's like, my turn. And then Miss Newcomb, who is all business, she joined us. And that's the moment where I was like, we are a family. So everyone took it. We all decided to send it to Gigi. And she's like, you guys are bad. But it was fun. And I think this has been a big change in our school. And I see it with the students, I see it with the staff, and I'm excited to see where it goes next year. Thank you.
We're gonna go to those one as. We're just gonna go to, everybody gets together in the lounge and eats every day together. Everybody's happy about eating together. So Spotlight, certificated Spotlight, our very own Karen. To know Karen, honestly, Tosa Karen is to wonder, is she human? The amount of student-centered work that is accomplished in one day every day is superhuman. Thank you, Ms. Newcomb, for your altruistic investment in changing the trajectory, truly, for all students at Castroville this year. Her laser focus has been on bringing equity to our most vulnerable and at-risk students, our long-term English learners, our newcomers, and our students with disabilities. She leaves no stone unturned when it comes to each stakeholder involved in each and every student's life. She gives them a heck. Thank you for sorry about that. Thank you for your serious investment and how you're impacting everybody. Okay, and the guy to the left, you know who that is, right? But he's gotten enough awards, so we have to bring him down a little. So he knows how great he is and appreciated. The other one, this one here, Karina Zavala, very important. She is an aide in our TK classroom. She also works in the NEST program and works with our volleyball team and athletics. She is fully vested in each child's life. She has been the continuous and trusted, loving adult in this particular classroom because we are on our third substitute with these little 4- and 5-year-olds this year. And she's been the constant. She cares for each student as if each is her own. She voluntarily communicates with families and ensures that the students do not feel the implied impact from the changes in the teachers. She is their stability, and this is her second year in the classroom. So she does so much, and she doesn't want any credit for it. She's just amazing. One last thing I was going to do it at another meeting is I want to highlight the food services because I feel like they have made such an impact, the quality of Sandra Ritten, Claire, Lisa Harris, and the food services team is just unparalleled. The quality of the response, the response time, the quality of their product, the consideration, everything. I just wanted to highlight them. I've never had a chance. I wanted to come to a meeting and talk about it, and I just thought I would throw it in here. So I don't know if they go noticed, but let me tell you, they're a very hardworking team. They were at our site last night, giving out some organic food that we usually pay thousands of dollars for free to all the families. It was wonderful. So thank you for your time. And I think we've covered it. Was that under 15 minutes, Dr. Turkey?
Probably not.
Just
My glasses.
just a
Thank
smidge
you,
over
Gigi.
maybe, but that was it.
Seconds. 3 minutes. You're worth it. You're worth it. 23 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you to your amazing team. We're going to open it up to public comment.
Good afternoon, board. I think a year ago or 2 years ago, there was a position that became available for a face of the district. I believe it's called the Family Outreach Support Team of America or something like that. I'm not too sure what it's called, but I think it's
Is this
community outreach.
Is this tied to the Castroville?
Yes, well,
Okay.
they talked about volunteers.
Okay,
Right,
thank
they
you.
talked about volunteers, and it seems like it's across the district. But there's also a new committee that was formed, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years back that should be implementing the help of the community as well. I don't think I've seen too much publicized of bringing those faces and collaborating together with the community too much.
Okay. Thank you, Alex, for your public comment.
Congratulations to Gigi and her team for the significant improvements they have made in student achievement and to her students too. That was quite a talk. It is great to see the hyper focus on this issue. It is certainly a highlight of this district. Gigi had as a bullet point as something that needs improvement, math fact fluency. So while you have her here, it would be great for the board and the community to hear her expound upon this topic. I asked the board to ask Gigi several related questions on this topic. First, to ask her how, as a principal, seeing students and hearing from teachers, how beneficial would it be for the kids in this district to achieve math fact fluency? Second, and more importantly, does this district screen students for math fact fluency? And does this district have a structured program in place enabling students to achieve this skill? And third, if this program is not in place, how beneficial would it be for if a program like this were implemented? So if you could please ask Gigi these questions so Gigi can answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Gigi, would you like to answer David's questions, please? There were a lot of questions, but he'll repeat them for you. Don't worry. No?
Tell us about the importance of math fact fluency. Does this district screen for math fact fluency? Does this district have a program in place to enable kids to achieve the skill? And if it did, how helpful would that be?
So quite a bit of turning into a discussion item of something we do care as a board. And I want to talk about it, but right now we're in presentations. So we will definitely bring back, and also I do have another reason for point of orders. I already have like many questions. I have 8 questions prepared for the math framework
curriculum.
next.
Okay.
That was my point of order.
Okay, that's your point of order. Okay.
But I would like to also put a point where we can invite her back to do a discussion item.
Just what I'll just put in is, as the board, you can actually ask whatever questions you like. That is up to you. So if you would like to ask a question, obviously you can. If you want to put it off to another time, you can.
Are you concerned about the amount of time, or are you concerned about a discussion?
Well, I'd like for it to be a discussion.
Okay.
I would like a presentation on Castroville and this issue.
Math fact fluency.
Yeah, basically, instead of having Gigi explain now, I would like to expand on it.
Okay.
And hear more about what's going on.
Okay. Is that something we can address in a later agenda? Have a focus on.
We could combine them into one
If
question.
the board would like, of course.
Okay.
Combine them into one. We could combine them into one question.
Can you give us a summary right now? And then
Yeah, in summary, math fact fluency is incredibly important because it gives automaticity and it enables students to reach those higher computation skills through accessibility and immediacy, so that they're not having to go. They don't hold them up through the obvious, right? Are we doing it at the district level? I think it's embedded in some of the I don't even have an answer to that. We don't have a specific screener around math fact fluency. However, I think it's embedded in some of the diagnostics that we do. They don't advance. I don't have enough knowledge of it, but I'm thinking that it must pertain, right, to advance in the iReady diagnostics. It must be somewhere embedded in there somewhere, because it is a standard. I do have to say we are at all sites, we are moving in the direction, not as fast as we like, because as I spoke to you on the phone the other day when I was with my 3rd grade team in the PLC, it's a very century-old problem.
No, I can't concentrate.
Yeah.
Point of privilege.
Got it. Thank you.
I can't concentrate because of the noise, the background noise. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Does the staff in the back mind being quiet?
It's like conversation.
So this is a century-old problem that is very, very comprehensive, and there is not one answer. So right now, what we're doing it at Castroville, and I know that we're doing it at other sites as well, because I was at the district level when we started discussing this and being hyper-focused on it. I do know that we are taking steps to get there, but there is, as I mentioned to you on the phone, there's many layers to this, and I think that's why it's such a difficult thing to solve, because there's so many ways of going about it. And so we're doing it, but people are doing it in different ways. And so to come up with, we would have to calibrate and come up with one universal way. And I was even asking you what the best way is, and we were still struggling with coming up with an answer,
Kiki.
right? Got
Thank
it?
you.
Order? Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate
Got
it.
it.
Thank you for
It's
trying to
very
respond to that. It is a complicated topic, but
Otherwise,
thank
we
you.
would've solved it by now, right?
You've made great strides.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay. Is there any other public comment on Zoom? One. Okay. If you're on Zoom, please proceed with your public comment.
I'm here as three hats. I am one of the robotics teachers, and I also am a parent. And as seeing students engage in the robotics program, it has just been an eye opener because a lot of students are engaged, and that's something that we don't see often when it's just verbal direction to them. And they've been hands-on, and they really have been enjoying the fact that they've been able to do projects and create something from scratch and then finish the product. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your public comment. Okay, now we're going to move on to the board. We're going to start with our student.
Thank you for the presentation. You guys look like you have a lot of improvements and growth, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And just want to highlight like how much fun you guys have. It looks, I'm kind of jealous. You guys look like it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you.
I'm not much fun, it's them. So,
Thank you, Adriana. Rick, we'll start with you.
Just thank you for all the hard work. Thank you for all the engagement. Thank you for, just making Castroville School, the best it can be. All your time and dedication does not go unnoticed. All you guys and the whole crew over there. We're very happy with what's going on over there. Thank you.
Adriana.
Thank you. Thank you for, sounds great and amazing that to hear that you have over 100 participants at an ELAC meeting. That's just mind blowing. To hear that means that you all are doing actually something to get access to these meetings. So thank you for making sure that that's happening, because we're always hearing that we need parent engagement and that parents are responsible too and all this stuff, but we sometimes do not facilitate the engagement. So I appreciate that you are looking at ways to facilitate the engagement, and I hope that they can volunteer when they're available. We all know that we have a community that might have limited time and resources to actually invest in volunteering, but participating is essential for their child's education. And then it's great to hear that you're focusing on a population that we often are hearing that the needle's not being moved, right? And that now you're focusing on that population to figure out why and how can we actually move the needle on a population that we have a high population, and that we should be focusing on moving as well as any other of our students. So I appreciate the focus on getting that. That was one of my questions, I believe, a year ago, of saying, great that we're actually improving, but did we improve in the population that we always are behind in? So I appreciate that you all took a look at it and be like, okay, let's focus on this population and figure out how to do that. And I agree with the story that you said, like, it's not fair. It's not fair that our students are not having the opportunities because of our lack of infrastructure and systems that are not catching up with our students. So it would be great for Dr. Turkey to figure out who's in charge of this so that we can move the needle and make sure that our students are not paying consequences for process and procedures that we have to improve on. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. And for the students, thank you for coming. It's always great to hear from you as a student and saying what's working, what's not working. And you did such a great job on explaining to us and letting us know what's going on. And we hope to continue to hear you and hear the rest of the students. So thank you for participating, and also for our parent, for all your time. It sounds like you are dedicating a lot of time. We appreciate that. We appreciate that because that is, as a parent, you have many hats and tasks. So just all the time that you're dedicating to our district, because that means you're not dedicating it only to your child and your students, you're dedicating it to our students. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for making aware that that's a need within our district.
Thank you, Adriana. Martha?
No, one of my highlights, all of you guys gave some great information. Ms. Newcomb, I really loved the fact that you shared that information that she highlighted in areas of growth, and the one-on-one intervention that you spoke about I was really the progress monitoring. I think that's great that you guys are exploring that and doing that and going to continue because I see that making a big difference. I also really liked Sebastian. You know, you were talking about, you did a great job, by the way. You did a great job. You know, what the mechatronics or what did you build? A drone?
Yeah.
And that's the Suli you brought in that program. Kudos. I mean, to bringing it to Castroville School, hearing this student highlight the rewards from it, and then watching our Skills USA talking about it, we see your career path right there, full circle. So Sebastian, you got a great future ahead of you. So keep it up. And you know, the Mixteco language that you guys are talking about, our demographics, I was really impressed. This was my first time seeing the social media. Did you guys see that social media in Mixteco? Yeah, it was out there. It was done in Mixteco to promote the Dia de los Niños and students. It was translated in Mixteco.
I did see it.
So
I
that
didn't know it was Mixteco.
Yeah, it was Mixteco. And it was
I
the first
did.
time that it was done. And I was like, hey, who did that? That was great. And again, that's an area that we could kind of tap into and grow. I heard that there's also like a little club out there of Mixteco students that they're working with. I mean, so you guys are getting creative to see how you could, you know, break that language barrier and then just start being more inclusive. And I think that's, you guys are on the right track. And yeah, like Adriana said, you know, or you guys quoted 100 parents at DLAC. That's huge.
Over 100, usually about 100, 150 is the average. We did dip a couple times and like, I think it was like 89 or something once and 89, but it's the average is about
Now that
141.
parent engagement to the fullest. So
It's because of the,
everyone involved to make that happen is great. You know, that you guys did that and continue to build off of that. And obviously you guys are all doing a great job. And yes, you know, the parent teacher president, I don't know how many hats, school site council, staff,
Super parent.
you know, super parent, you know, thank you for just bringing, you know, your areas of concern that, you know, we all can try to support. And I think it's doable, but you know, those are hard, you know, unfortunately, you know, like they mentioned, you know, with the population that we have, but that's a great idea to continue to, you know, elaborate on social media. And I think that Mixteco is probably another area that maybe that'll improve. But yeah, I think you guys are all on the right track. You guys are doing amazing things and your scores speak volumes. So kudos to everybody involved. Kudos.
Angelo?
I want to thank you guys all for your hard work. Like I said, it's very time consuming. It's a commitment. It really means a lot. Like I said, you guys are doing it on your own free time. And everything you're putting together definitely shows. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Angelo. Gigi, you're amazing.
No.
Stop.
No.
Gigi,
Hey.
focus. You're
Hey.
amazing.
No.
Stop.
I swear-
Gigi, listen to me. Please. You're amazing. From the moment I met you, you are a firecracker. I love your passion, your dedication, your love for the students of
Now
this
that
district.
I do love the student.
Yes, you have moved the needle and we are forever in your debt for showing us what Castroville can be and giving us a goal to reach for. So we are forever in your debt. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for leading the team. Thank you for inspiring teachers, students, staff to be their very best. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
And to you, Mrs. Choi, I'm a parent who's volunteered and I know what it's like. Sometimes you feel like you're Rose on the iceberg and you want somebody to come and save you. So parents, here, Mrs. Choi, she needs help. Please come help her, even if it's for an hour or two, just come help her. And you're going to even have more events because more parents means more events for students. Less parents means less events. So thank you for your phenomenal school site and thank you for giving us an update on all the great things you're doing. Thank you. You're all done. You're all done. Thank you. You're all done. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to take a short recess for about 5 minutes. We're recessing at 7:16 and we will reconvene at 7:21. up to the podium and tell us about all the great things they're doing. Yay!
Good evening, Superintendent Turkey.
Good evening. We're so excited.
We're so happy to be here this evening. And I'm Allison Gribben. I'm the proud and just, humble director of this wonderful department. And is there a clicker?
Just.
Oh, I see it. Okay. And
Okay.
so we're going to just share a few highlights with you tonight from our department. To start with, this is kind of our emblem for this year to kind of share with the district, like overall communicate what our department does. But tonight we're really focused on our special education team and the work we're doing specifically in general education. So to give more access to our students with disabilities. This slide you might have seen before because this goes over all of our different programs that we have in the district. And tonight specifically, we'll be focusing on the blue one around inclusion and then our resource support program and then some of the related services that are provided. Just to give you kind of an overall idea about least restrictive environment, this is sort of the continuum and the light green area is where we're focused on. And in that light green area, to give you some context, currently 558 of our 691 students as of today are in general education more than 50% of the day. So when we talk about all students being general education students first, we truly mean it. And of our staff, 48 of our classified staff, which includes our instructional assistants, our paraprofessionals, who you're going to get to hear from tonight, and our behavior technicians, 48 of them support mostly in general education, and 43 of our 51 teaching staff support and psychs and OTs and SLPs, our speech therapists, 43 of them support mostly in general education. So just sometimes we highlight our special programs, and even though they're near and dear to our heart, we wanted to highlight more of our general education supports for you tonight. Oops, I'm going to turn it over to Danielle Martucci, who's our wonderful coordinator, and the clicker's being a little tricky. There you go, Mike.
No. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Thanks
good
for giving us the
evening.
opportunity to speak tonight. When I woke up this morning, I didn't know I'd be repping Skills USA, but
I love it.
here I am.
I love it. Very nice.
So just to give you a little more detail about what Allison spoke about, this slide really shows the ways in which here in North County, we are allowing our students with disabilities to have access to the general education environment and be educated alongside their non-disabled peers and get what they need. So I will start with mainstreaming. Mainstreaming is really where students with IEPs get to spend part of their day in a general education classroom. And general education teachers and special education teachers are working collaboratively to make that happen. We have both co-teaching and our resource specialist program. In our resource specialist program, we have our teachers and our instructional assistants who are pushing into classrooms to make sure that our students have access to the curriculum and that their accommodations are provided so that they can succeed. On our secondary and early elementary level, we have aspects of co-teaching going on across the district. That's really where two credentialed teachers are in the same space and they are co-planning, co-assessing, and co-instructing together. You'll hear later that we have some grows and hopes for, especially for co-teaching in the future and how we can build that and grow that here in North County. And all of this is inclusion. It's really that philosophy that everyone belongs and they get what they need and they have meaningful inclusion in their school communities, that all students can participate, learn, and belong as true members and not just visitors to our educational environments. So because we have all these amazing things going on in North County and we're working on these things and we're growing these things, our state performance data around least restrictive environment looks very strong. So you can see on this slide, it shows that our percentage of students with disabilities that spend 80% or more of their day in general education, it does meet the state target. So that is a plus for us. And in special education, we love data. And so we use these state performance indicators to help us figure out where to go and how to grow. So that is a big plus. So that's data. Tonight, we are going to use this artichoke picture to show how we highlight inclusion in the district. You're going to hear from many of our staff from different locations and different programs. They're going to be talking about a glow or some glows, which is like how we're thriving. They're going to be talking about what is emerging for us in North County or grows. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about our hopes and wishes and dreams for our programs for the future. So, ooh, clicky. The first group that I would like to bring up, and they are here straight out of supporting kids in our classrooms all day. Two of our amazing paraprofessionals, Viviana Garcia and Trinity Espinosa, are going to share a little bit about how we support kids starting in preschool and early elementary school so they can grow and they can flourish.
Wonderful.
Hello. Well, first off, I wanted to say thank you to the SPED department for allowing us to present at the board meeting today. So we start in preschool. So classroom environment promotes belonging and friendship. So students create friendships with not only staff, but with other students, including gen ed. For example, some of the gen ed students will push our students on the swing or even play like tag or anything like that with them. So families feel welcomed, respected, and included in their children's learning. We have a lot of classroom family parties, a lot of the neurodiversity events that we have, and we have a lot of strong communication between parents and staff. So children of all abilities participate and play routines and learn centers together, and strong collaboration between general and special education teachers and specialists, including school psychs, speech therapists, speech and OT therapists, help whenever needed.
A way that we're constantly growing is because our teachers have created these environments that make us feel supported and comfortable to share any concerns that we have and any emotions that we're having. And we're also all constantly working together to set expectations for our students and what we're looking for. So like in my class specifically, something that we do almost every day is debrief at the end of every day and kind of discuss like what more we can be doing for our students and how we feel we can support them. And yeah, we're always talking about it and implementing new things and trying new techniques. And this really comes in handy when we are collecting data and monitoring their progress.
So additional, something that we wish for our SPED department would be additional professional development on inclusive practices and behavior. So that includes training for aides and paras on behavior evidence-based practices.
We also would love for there to be a lot of workshops with families, not just for the families, but maybe including staff and families to just discuss special needs. And there's of course a lot of parents that are kind of in the dark about what to do with their children when it comes to receiving a diagnosis. So yeah, a lot of parents come to teachers, paras, just asking what more can I be doing at home. So it'd be nice to have workshops with staff and families to talk about that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for allowing us to
Thank you for being here.
Okay, so this next slide really comes from feedback from our teachers and teams. I got input from our general education teachers and staff at different elementary campuses. And so you can see some glows and some grows and some wishes here. But I did want to read a couple quotes because I know Miss Eggers in particular over at Prunedale, one of our general education teachers, wanted to be here, but she was not able. But I did want to make sure I really communicated some of the information she shared with me. So she said that I really enjoy the dynamics of the support in our classroom. Everyone is involved and no job belongs to one person. So it's really beautiful in that it's a team approach to everything we're doing. So if you walk into a classroom, you might see instructional assistants, paraprofessionals, behavior technicians, special educators, and general educators all working together in the gen ed setting. She also mentioned that the flexible seating that they have allows for different learning styles and gives students the opportunity to have differentiated groups. And inclusion allows students to make bonds with one another and build strong classroom community. And that's really what we want for our kids as we're preparing them for life. So as we prepare them for life, you're going to hear from a big crew at North County High School next.
Hi. So I have the pleasure of kind of introducing some of our students and staff that are working with, I think, the glow that we want to highlight the most, which is our workability program right now. As I think the board is familiar with, it's our first full year of implementation of the workability grant. So it's really been building something from the ground up, which is an experience that no other district in California has had since the grant first became available in the 80s. So we're in this without a clear mentor on who remembers how to do it from the beginning. But we're doing it and it's going really well and we want to highlight that. So you're gonna hear from them in just a second because I really want to end on that amazing note of how well that's going. So that's going to be our main glow for the high school. A grow is really going to be to expand on that. There's just so much opportunity for community partners and having our students placed all around our community, depending on what their areas of interest are. So we really want to grow there. And then improving the tracking of all the employment outcomes for our students. So every year, maybe you don't know, our amazing people data specialist in the special education office sends out follow-ups to find out how are our students doing a year out. And that can be a tricky process to get all those responses back after students have already left our school. And so we just want to kind of improve and support more with that process to really get more data on what our outcomes actually are. Like we have this awesome program for workability, but is it actually resulting in more students being employed post-secondary? And then wishes for us is going to be an updated tutorial support classroom space at the high school, which is a wish, but it's also in the works right now. We're using our Supporting Inclusive Practices grant to get some updated furniture for that room so students can just have more flexible seating and feel more comfortable there, which is exciting. And then a really big wish is that we can expand our workability program to also include educational options. Right now, the grant is only focused on the high school, but if funding ever becomes available again in the future, which fingers crossed it will, we would love to apply so that our students over at Educational Options would also have the opportunity to get some paid work experience so they can leave our high school with some money in their pocket, with some references, and with some clear work experience to put on a resume. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to introduce our work experience technician, Evie, and three of our wonderful students, three who are in our workability program currently.
Wonderful.
Hi, my name is Ivana Velasquez, also go by Evie. This is my first year at North Monterey County High School, working under this grant. It's really been a journey starting it from nothing. You know, me and Kelly had many meetings of like, okay, what do we do? So it's been a lot of work of talking to local businesses, and I just loved all the conversations I had with them about wanting to help our students and realize there's a need for this experience for them, like practicing interview questions and building their resumes and just actually getting into like some kind of business and working for them instead of just like on the side jobs, stuff like that. So it's been a lot of work, and I feel really happy to have this position now because I feel like such a safe person for these students to come talk to and ask for help. They actually use this resource so much. They stop by my office all the time for questions or like, I feel like I need more practice, or how do I finish applying to this program or filling out applications. So it's been a great journey with them, growing with them as well too, building it up. So I have a couple students to present. First student is Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
So something I wanted to speak on about the workability program is that it's very like readiness. You have a lot of like I don't know how to say it.
Practice?
Yeah, there's a lot, you get mock interviews. So with the mock interview, it's a like really it's really great to be able to have the mock interview because you're a lot more prepared for the real actual interview. So being able to do that with like um Miss Evie is a lot is good. And then being actually on another can I keep
Ignore
going?
that.
On another note,
Keep
just
going.
being able to work and being able to like do it through workability program, it's like I'm working at like a very family oriented business right now.
Mhm.
So I'm at the like Cheryl's thrift store. And it's like a smaller business and it's like very family oriented. So I feel like I'm part of their family, like we're having a lot of fun every single day. And I'm a little nervous right now, but that's okay. I'm a little nervous right now. I
Don't
did
be
not thought I
nervous.
would be speaking.
You're doing great.
But it's very like inclusive. It's a good community to be in. Like you're talking to customers every single day. You're being part of like the community, which is great. I love it. And I can't wait to get back to going to work every single day. It's something I look forward to, besides school. And yeah, so thank
Thank
you.
you, Joseph. Thank you for sharing your experience. Hi, welcome.
My name is Fabian and I am a junior at North Monterey County High. And I am a part of the workability program with Ms. Evie. I coach at the Nest in Echo Valley. I'm a flag football coach because I played football too. And I want to teach the young kids how to play football too. And this has been a great experience for me. My first interview too, because I'm trying to get experience too. Like once, sorry, it's because I'm kind of nervous.
No, you're
You
doing
do it
great.
really well.
Yes, you're doing
I
wonderful.
feel confident about the interview because I've been practicing a lot with Ms. Evie too. And it's just like been a great experience. Yeah. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matthias. I am a junior at North Monterey County High, and I am in the workability program. And I did my first interview, and now I coach flag football at Echo Valley Nest. It feels good to take my experience as a football player and help these young kids in our district.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, to round out the last minute of our presentation, here is sort of a slide that is depicting our path forward. What we want to do is continue to co-create a world where all of our students with disabilities belong. We want to uplift the identities and advocate for inclusion of our students with disabilities. And let's not forget, improve the outcomes for all of our learners. So I did put a little card over on your table. And so we'd love to hear a wish or a hope or a dream from the board and Dr. Turkey. And if I have some extras for the community, if you'd like to, and just hand them up here when you're done. So thank you for doing that. And how do we do this?
You can
Do this
finish
one?
it off.
Okay.
We're just gonna, one of
Yes.
the areas we also have been very focused on this year is parent engagement
Mhm.
and through our special education committee. So we have our wonderful parent, Stephanie Bachman. To share a little bit about the work we've been doing around that committee.
Through the special ed committee, attendance is up and down, but we have a good group. We have a core group. We're just bouncing ideas off of each other, what we can make stronger in the district and what we would like to see. I always tell Allison and the team, if a parent ever has a concern where they don't feel comfortable, talking to the district, they can come to me. I can be the liaison between the community and the district. So
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie.
And we're forever grateful for Stephanie and the wonderful work she does and support she gives us. I think.
The clicky.
Oh, I think that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. And that concludes our presentation. But the artwork in the presentation was from our students. So
beautiful.
They got to participate in art projects. So we spotlighted a few of that. So thank you all so much. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
your
much. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open it up for public comment. Please, yes, please come up to the podium.
Okay, so I'm Cece Kalenda and I'm starting to speak at every board meeting now. So
we love it.
These two gentlemen, well, one is my son, but the two gentlemen that are coaching are my students. And so I just want to tell you guys from a teacher's perspective, how beautiful it is to see these kids prepare for job interviews and how terrifying it is. And, you know, being able to share with them, I still get scared.
Right.
Right. I still get scared at a job interview and just practice. And like, you need to be able to say something positive about yourself. And they're like, no, it's bragging. No, like, why should they hire you? And just, it also gives not only like, let's be real. A lot of the times we push college, right? And we want kids to go to college and that's great. But this gives them other work experience. This gives them some career experience. And that's really important for us to highlight as well. Not only that, but most of my students have never felt like the classroom was the right place for them, right? Since I'm resource, most of my students are in general education and it is a struggle for them to be successful. And they are successful, but this is also giving them an avenue where their gifts can shine in other places. And it's wonderful to see that for the kids. The other thing that I think is just so amazing is the community partnerships that are happening and the way that our community and businesses are just opening up to our students and giving them that experience and really just excited to take a risk basically on working with these kiddos. So thank you.
Thank you for your public comment.
And Evie is amazing.
Thank you.
Again, board, I just wanted to go ahead and piggyback on what she was saying. First and foremost, I wanted to relay a message that I got last meeting. Community members reached out to me thanking me and the team of people behind the group of Voices for Change. People spoke out about being able to freely speak, being able to have a voice, being able to come and volunteer and help our district. To me, that's a goal that I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see collaboration between our school district and our community so we can get the best resources available to our community. With that said, I'm proud of the young gentleman behind me right now because it takes a lot of courage to come up and speak to a room full of people and adults that are very educated. So kudos to you guys for speaking up and speaking out. From a perspective of a student, especially with somebody with special needs, you guys are always welcome to my community. You guys are always welcome to use me as a resource. Teachers, anybody alike. Stephanie knows me better than anybody. She's my neighbor. She's a good friend. We're in cahoots in the same collaboration with working with North County Voices for Change to try to make a difference in this community. So we're going to continue to push for that. Use us, abuse us. We're here for you guys.
Thank you for your public comment. Enrique, do we have any public comments? Okay, if you're on Zoom, please proceed with your public comment.
Hello, it's me again, Vienna. I'm here as a parent and as a teacher. I first off want to say that my son's actually now part of the inclusion program and he's been in it for the past few years. He did start off as an SDC student in a more restricted classroom. But it's given him the opportunity to flourish in different schools. He started off at Echo Valley and he was given the opportunity to expand. He was also part of the crew that brought that inclusive playground to the K-2 or K-1 students, and one thing that we've had to teach him is that he may be breaking down walls for other students, but he's doing it so that they can also have a chance. It's something hard for him to understand because, like I said, he's breaking down the walls, but he's moving past them. So I just hope that, with the growth that he gets more opportunities along with all his peers, and to the schools, Echo Valley and Castroville, for being inclusive, and the students for being so accepting to students that are different to them. So I just wanted to say thank you on that behalf. And as for the whole of our department, I appreciate you guys for being there for us when we need the support in the classroom. I know that every year fluctuates and that some classrooms definitely need more support than others, but we know that you guys are still there to support us. So thank you for being there, and thank you for being there for my kid too, and to the board for providing them the staffing that's crucial to our students. As a parent and as a teacher, I see the difference when they're short staff versus having full staff. So thank you.
Thank you for your public comment. We appreciate it. Okay, next we're going to move to the board and we're going to start with Adriana.
Just thank you for the presentation and thank you for everything you guys do. It's very evident all the work that you guys put in it doesn't go unnoticed. And I wanted to do my wisher.
Nice.
My glow. I hope to collaborate more. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of like ASB or anything, but as a student board member, I'd love to collaborate and kind of contribute to this theme of inclusion. Yes. So I hope that we can get in contact in my short time that I have left, but yes. I hope to continue bridging this gap. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Angelo?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for everyone working here. And then really thanks for helping out our students with job interviews and stuff like that. I still don't understand why as a board I never get a great answer, but we used to have that in the 90s. Remember, we had a semester of health. We had a quarter of driver's training. And then we had a quarter of CTE ROP where everybody was taught how to do an interview, how to do a resume. Actually, that's where I learned my first resume.
Good job.
And then all of a sudden it disappeared.
Yeah.
But there's still a need to give students some type of, at least for me in the 90s in King City, we looked more than just college. Like we did assessments tests on like, what are you good at? What do you want to do? And how do we go towards that goal? How do we write a resume? How do we interview? And that is a missing component in our current public educational system. So thank you for trying to fill that gap in that unfortunately public school has dropped. So really thank you for doing that hard work.
Thank you, Angelo. I was going to touch base on that too, but it looks like you did, because I remember back in the days it being very popular. In fact, I even participated in the mock interviews. They would reach out to other community members that had businesses or whatever and come participate in that. But the thing is, you guys are doing it. And the results are from these students that spoke today. I mean, I love hearing from the students. I keep on saying that, but we love hearing it from the students. But all of you guys have done some great jobs in inclusiveness. And Stephanie, thank you for doing what you do and participating. And you're the one that brought that advisory committee together. And look at how it's, blossoming and everybody's working together. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is a very special, unique department, and you guys really just really strive in that inclusiveness. And I really love that about all of you guys and providing that support. So thank each and every one of you, and students, kudos to you guys, did a good job. Good job.
Thank you, Martha. Rick?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, students, for coming and talk. I'm so proud of you and so happy that you came. I had a job at like 15 and got $4 an hour, or 4.20 or 4.25 or something. But yeah, it's just super cool that you guys learned how to do the interviews and practiced, and that's super great. And thank you for the teachers and everyone on that for implementing all that for our students. And yeah, the department is superb as usual, and just always doing a great job. I'm so happy that we have all you guys on our team, and thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I don't even know what to say, because there's just so much love in the room, really at our sites. There's so many great things so many great things going on. And it's not that we're in a perfect world, or there's kids we're not failing, or there's not, students that have unmet needs. I hope one day that's my hope, my wish. One day we can meet every student's needs with enough love and resources so they have what they need. And so in general education, there's already so much care, love, attention that teachers are giving students. And then you take special education. You have kids that might be a little bit more challenging because of their emotional or physical abilities. And the amount of patience, care, ingenuity in trying to address those situations, it's really phenomenal. And I want to thank you on the behalf of the board and our whole community for really being creative and finding solutions to nurture each student. I love your analogy. And so thank you. Thank you for this presentation. Thank you for letting us know all the wonderful things you're doing. I loved hearing from the students. They're amazing, and this is just the beginning. So thank you. Yes.
Was that just comments, or are we doing questions also?
Did you have a question?
Yes.
Sorry.
But I got
We've combined it.
It's because it's
I
the
got confused
because it's the
too.
presentation.
Yeah.
Something which we vote on.
Yeah.
I just really just want to.
Sure. What the heck?
Can you explain to me push pull?
Oh. Like
Anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we sometimes supports get called push-in supports and sometimes pull out. That's what you're asking, I think. So push-in supports are supports where a special education teacher, a speech therapist, an instructional assistant, a paraprofessional push in and provide the support in general education. So in a second grade classroom, in a math class at the high school, in a social studies class at the middle school. And pull out is where we have classrooms or spaces where students are pulled out for support. So for example, Miss Evie might pull a student out to work on specific skills around the job interview they're going to do, but she may push into a classroom to do some of the surveying that you discussed. So she does supports in both places.
How do you determine if, is it fluid? Is it flexible to push in or pull out?
It's
'Cause
completely
I've seen
based
up and down, to
on
left and
our
right.
students' individual education plan. So their IEP, which is rooted in assessment. So our wonderful staff, our speech therapists, our occupational therapists, our school psychologists, special education teachers assess students. And based on the assessment results and the progress monitoring, similar to what you hear from the school presentations, right, that they're doing, they determine and meet with the IEP teams to make recommendations. And our high school students, I know for a fact, participate in their IEP meetings and give input to their case managers, which Miss Cece is a case manager, and Miss Lazo is back here, and they meet with the students to make sure that their voice is included in their IEP. Yeah, it's a great question though.
So my question with that is because let's be honest, everything I'm saying, I'm very proud of our SPED team.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I really am. I want to make sure
I'm
the
proud of them
SPED team
too.
is doing well.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're supporting our SPED team
Yes.
properly.
Yeah.
Because there has been a difference at the high school compared to when I was teaching math there to where it is now. And I really want to learn, and a lot of the issues that I'm hearing is push and pull.
Yeah.
So they explain to me.
The push in and the
do we
pull out.
offer enough flexibility for our teachers where it might not be in their IEP, but maybe that day pulling out a kid might be the best for that child's education.
Yeah, and that's
But just
something
because it's not in their IEP doesn't mean that we should stop resources or being flexible.
for sure, for sure. Meeting students' needs in the moment can sometimes be a challenge, but some of our staff, including our behavior technicians, and then some of our resource staff, like our instructional assistants and our RSP teachers, they do have a little bit more flexibility and will make that professional judgment, like in the moment. But then if it's a significant change, meaning we think this student needs this ongoing, it's our duty to assess for that need and then have a meeting to discuss it so that all of our educational partners have an opportunity to weigh in on
I
it.
guess I really just want to make the public comment out here. I expect our SPED teachers to be supported by staff.
100% agree.
And if they want to be flexible, at least this trustee has
Yes.
got SPED's back where I'm like, I will always choose your guys' assessment because you're there on the ground level. You're the one making the decision right there.
Yeah.
And I'm
we
hoping
have
our
an amazing
administration staff at every school supports you guys the way that you guys need to be supported.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And if I could, there's something you said, Alison, which I'd like to amplify,
Sure.
which was all of our students are general education students first. Sometimes we have the misunderstanding that our students in special education aren't in tier 1 or general education, but they have something different.
Mhm.
And what you said, I think, is really important. All of our students are general education students first. That's what everybody gets.
Yes.
Everybody gets it, including our students with IEPs. And then what they get for special education is on top of. as well as, not instead of.
Correct.
And so, and I think that kind of the goal or the wish which I would have,
Yeah.
right, would be the feeling of all of our students are all of our students.
Me too.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. We're so happy to be here. So
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Appreciate it. Okay, our next agenda item is migrant program presentation and update by Monterey County Office of Education. I want to thank you for your patience. I know I need to go to the bathroom too, but
Were you?
I know you're okay. I got you, Mama.
I got you. Because I didn't realize you had this many presentations.
You don't blame Matt. No, we do the agenda
Students, you
together.
did so well, by the way.
Yes, you did.
You
Thank
did really
you.
well.
Yes, thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Bye,
Well done.
Joseph. I know, well, I'm nervous.
Good evening, board.
Hi.
Hi. Is it okay to start?
Yes, of course, please.
Okay.
Thank you so
Go
much
ahead and
for
get
being so
started.
patient
Of
for our visitors, our friends from
That was
MCOE. Thank
lovely to
you.
be here. I'm here to introduce the migrant program from Monterey County Office of Education. They are behind me. They're wonderful humans. See if I can do this. I'm struggling really hard, Enrique. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Back up, Enrique.
So just a reminder, for this school year, you all approved a memorandum of understanding with Monterey County Office of Education for us to transfer a migrant program to them. And they've been helping us all year with those items that were listed there. This is our student count of migrant per school site. So I just wanted to share with you our demographics of our students. And now I will pass it over to the Monterey County Office of Education to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Katie. Hi.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. Good evening, Board President Cabrera, Superintendent Turkey. Good to see you again. Good to see you all again. My name is Constantino Silva, the Migrant Program Director. It's good to be here again 1 year later. It was a year ago that we received the charge from you, which we with much humility accepted. And here we are. I remember at that time you requested, can you come back in a year and give us an update? And so here we are to provide that update and to give you to start here. We have been able to hire 3 staff members so far. It's been a challenge. I will talk about the challenges we've had in just a moment, but we have our program specialist, Veronica Hernandez. She couldn't be here tonight. She had open house with her daughter this evening. So I said, don't worry, we've got it. But I am fortunate that Teresa Rodriguez, she's our student advisor and our educational advocate. She's at the high school and she's a former employee of the district. And in fact, she had been doing the work that she's now doing for us. So we were very fortunate to have her come to MCOE to work with us in migrant education, essentially in the same capacity, where the students already knew her, the community, the families already knew her. And so she just hit the ground running and she's been phenomenal. Of course, we knew that she would be as much. And we're also fortunate that we have Carla Enriquez doing our identification recruitment. She had been doing that work here with the district previously. And so just 2 big wins for us, I feel, that we were able to bring staff with so much knowledge of the migrant program, of the migrant students to work for MCOE to provide the migrant services here in North County. So some of the challenges that we've had is we do have vacancies that we haven't been able to fill. We have a migrant resource teacher that we haven't been able to fill for several reasons. And we have a migrant family service advocate, also a position that we haven't been able to fill. And we have hourly teachers for that we typically hire for after school, for Saturday services. It's been a challenge. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Part of that challenge has had to do with the uncertainty about migrant education funding that has been created at the federal level. a year ago, almost a year ago, the government basically withdrew the funding that was there for migrant education. And I don't have to tell you this story. I'm sure you know it very well. And other federal programs. Then after a month, released the funding. Well, we lost people that we already had basically had made job offers to. But that uncertainty just was a real drag on us this whole year. People that were interested in coming to work for us. I would have to disclose in all honesty, I don't know if we're going to have funding for the following year. So I just want to be very, very transparent. They thank me, for being honest, and then they would withdraw their candidacy. So that's been very unfortunate. Right now, we are fortunate that we have funding through this year and next year. But you might be aware that once again, the White House has put out basically their proposal to once again they're proposing not to fund migrant education among other programs. Nevertheless, I feel confident that the advocacy, that just the groundswell of advocacy across the nation, all of the different people that stood up and said, this is a program, these are programs worth saving, worth defending, and we're gonna believe in the strength of their advocacy and their defense of our program. So with that, I will go into sharing our update with you. We'll start with our 3 to 5s, the numbers that Dr. Turner shared related to the different school sites. Keep in mind, these are the K-12 numbers, 349 students. Well, we also serve more. We actually start migrant education start services at 3 years old. So we have a strong school readiness component, and we have also served quite a few families and students through our family biliteracy program. This is a service that provides services to 3 to 5-year-olds. It's a family-centered, it's a center-based, family-centered, play-based. And so this is just our way of setting up migrant students at that age for success, for lifelong success in education. We also have, as you can see, services we've been able to have, even with being short-staffed, we've been able to provide a variety of services, including in elementary, middle school, and high school. A lot of the high school services, Teresa has been instrumental. And so I'll ask her to come up and talk about her experience this year. But yeah, you can see that we've had several services throughout the year for our elementary students, our middle school students, and our high school students. Even though we have been short-staffed, you'll see in the elementary column down at the bottom, we've been able to partner with an agency, UWLF, United We Lead Foundation, to provide virtual English language arts services. And we have had excellent attendance in those services. And so again, even though we haven't had success hiring the hourly teachers that we would normally hire, we have made the best of the situation. And that's just one of the examples. We also have had speech and debate for middle school, high school. We've had an overnight freshman retreat for first-year migrant students, and a variety of services that we're really fortunate and feel that there have been successes for us this year, that we are providing support to the students beyond what the school is providing them already. So we continue on here. One of the pillars of migrant education is the parent component, parent services, parent engagement. We've also had a variety of different parent meetings, cafecitos with our migrant staff, and we have had family health workshops as well. They have been well attended. Early in the year, we started with just a few, but we've gained momentum, and now we have really, really solid attendance. The last couple meetings have been very well attended, and while the parents are in our meeting hearing about how they can best support their students through the different services that we offer and the support we have for them to support their children at home. The students themselves are in workshops. It's not just daycare. We actually take it a step further, and we have academic activities for them. So we're also reinforcing academic achievement while the parents are in the parent meetings. And some very noteworthy, the next three slides that we feel that this is special student recognitions, big wins for the migrant education program. The big one, the first one is Melanie Guadalupe Zamora. She was selected by the Regional Parent Advisory Committee as the Migrant Honor Student of the Year for Monterey County. This is the first time we were talking, Teresa and I were talking, we think this is the first time in many, many years, at least as far back as the two of us can remember. And I'll pass it over to you in just a second, Teresa. But just a big honor for this student and for the district and for the migrant program of this district to have been selected among, I think, between 12 and 15 students in the end participated, and the parent committee evaluated academic achievement, extracurricular activities, support in the home, just a variety of different criteria. And Melanie was selected the Honor Student of the Year. We also we're fortunate to have, we had a statewide migrant parent conference, a migrant parent, statewide virtual migrant parent conference. And every year there's an art competition. Who's going to be the primary logo, the front of the program art a logo, and a student from North County, Noemi Martinez, was selected as the first place winner, and her drawing was the one selected to be on the cover. So a big honor for North County once again, for Noemi. And she actually, that picture there was at an art studio in Gilroy, and the artist, Mr. Moya, basically sponsored a scholarship for her. So we're very eager to have hopefully at some point that ceremony where we can give her $500 scholarship on behalf of Moya Art Studio in Gilroy. And another big win is with all that has been happening with migrant education and education in general, legislators, we've had a lot of media coverage this year at the county office. We've had a lot of newspapers, TV channels come and ask us for statements about what's going to happen, with this, in this environment of uncertainty, what's going to happen. And so we've been speaking to different legislators, and our local state representative, Senator John Laird, reached out to the county office and said, I am interested in speaking with migrant students directly. Can you arrange that for me? And we arranged it, and it happened here. It took place here at North County. Dr. Turkey, you were there. Thank you for supporting that event and the migrant students, as you always do. And he was interested in hearing directly from the students. How are you feeling? Of course, beyond the educational situation and uncertainties and all of that, there's the immigration and sort of all of that uncertainty that our families have had to deal with. So he wanted to come and speak to them directly and hear from them. And so Teresa was there with 22 migrant students, and just a phenomenal, just taking it right from the students and their concerns to one of our state legislators. So very fortunate about that. And before we look ahead to the future, I would like to ask Teresa to come over. Teresa, please share from your point of view. Teresa, we're fortunate your office is on this campus. So we're happy once again, that we scored such a valuable member of the former migrant team here at North County to now be the same really member of the migrant team here for North County. So Teresa, adelante.
Definitely. It has been a great honor to work along with Constantino. He's my direct boss, and it's amazing to work with somebody that has so much knowledge in the migrant world that really knows and understands the needs of our students. And then also I want to thank our principal too for giving us room 30 where I'm at. I've been able to provide a lot of services to the students directly from this school. So thank you for the space as well in the school. I've noticed that our students are not only taking advantage of the previous services that we had in our migrant program, but more. And so one of them was our freshman retreat. It was a camping trip with our students, a weekend where they learned the A through G requirements, where they learned how every single high school has different requirements, whether it is community service or the amount of credits that are needed to be able to complete. And that's so important because our students move from one school to the other, right? They migrate. So for them to understand that maybe what's required in our school might not be the same in a different high school. And so that was an excellent experience that our students have never had an opportunity to attend to. And with our program, besides all the other programs that we had, that was an amazing experience. I did a home visit today with one of the moms of the student that participated there. And she told me that her son mentioned that this program was amazing for him as well. So that along with that, we also, as we mentioned, we met with the senator. The students were able to advocate for themselves, to ask him questions about immigration, to ask them questions about things that maybe he's not able to control. But being able to have that voice was amazing. And the students, some of them were dressing up very nice and professional, and they were very excited. I had a great turnout. Out of 71 students that I invited, we had a total of 22 students attending. And then I also invited some students that are not current migrant, but they were previously migrant, and advocating for the migrant program to be extended for longer, because as you know, our migrant program is only for 3 years. And then after that, everything, their eligibility ends. And so they were able to advocate and say, can we please extend the migrant program for more than 3 years for those students that need it the most? But anyway, I can share so much, but I want to say that thank you for the opportunity that I had at MCOE. Our students have more services on campus. I am happier at my job too. I am very, very happy. I enjoy working with our students here on campus. And I enjoy collaborating with other coworkers that do the same type of job that I do. They're amazing, and they're able to provide me with so many other experiences that I was not aware of that existed for our students. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. And so just in closing, just a quick look ahead. We're going to continue the migrant education services, including this summer, where we're going to have migrant student, the MESA programs, and the migrant education student academies. They're academic, there's enrichment. We're going to have visiting teachers from Mexico, the visiting binational teachers. We're going to have, and that's going to be K-8. We're going to have middle school services, outdoor education, science camp. High school students are going to have the opportunity to participate in the migrant high school MESA at Greenfield High School. Greenfield or King City, we're still working on that. And there are also students that are behind on credits will also have the opportunity to go to a 4-week credit-bearing summer residential program at CSU Fresno. And we're going to have a 1-week Washington, D.C. experience where a group of 32 migrant students from across the county are going to be up close and personal with Washington, D.C. And we're going to see if we can see either Jimmy Panetta or Zoe Lofgren while we're there. So again, just hopefully a lot of wins there. We do have challenges, but as a team, we're continuing to work through those challenges. And I just want to say that in closing, I want to thank Dr. Antonio Garcia. That sounds really nice, by the way. Dr. Antonio Garcia. Yeah, for sure. Dr. Turner. Carol Ortiz, Jose Yanez, Angel Cante, Gigi Chabu, just so many people that have helped us in our transition into the district. Without them, we would not be this far along. We have more room to grow, but it's a team effort, and it really does feel as a collaboration between the district staff, the district administration, and the MCOE staff. So thank you so much, and we're here to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next, we're going to start with public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make a public comment? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to Zoom. Is there anyone on Zoom, Enrique? No? Okay, I'm going to close public comment, and I'm going to open it up to the board. I'm going to start with Adriana for any questions or comments.
Well, it's a presentation, right? So it's
Yeah, you can do questions or comments. We're doing it.
yeah, thank you for the presentation. And I just wanted to give you and your team your flowers because seeing all the uncertainty you face, whether it's employees or the financial aspects, and you're still able to provide all these amazing programs for our students. I just think it's so important and so impactful. So thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Angelo?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all your hard work and just really acknowledge and honor what you guys are doing. I could not imagine going to work every day, not knowing if we're going to be here tomorrow. And in having that uneasiness and still give 110%, that's not an easy thing to do. And the fact that you guys are doing that really speaks volumes to your guys' character and your commitment to our students. So just thank you for your hard work, and hopefully we can keep chugging through, and thank you for everything, how you're helping guide our district.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo. Martha?
Great presentation. I like the way you guys really dove into all the areas that you guys are supporting our migrant program, because we really wanted to see, you know, this transition, how it was going to work. And obviously it's you guys are doing an amazing job, which, you know, you guys have that experience and that collaboration that we continue to have. We're lucky to have you here, like you said, on site, and all the great things that you're doing. And yeah, the uncertainties are there. I was at a cabinet board meeting yesterday, and we talked with our legislative team that they were in Sacramento last week. Like, yeah, lots of organizations are fighting for this bill. But yet it doesn't look very good right now. So it's kind of really scary to see what's going to happen. So my question is, you know, are you guys brainstorming for some other ideas? You know, if that funding goes away, are you guys already proactively, strategically trying to see what other avenues that we can do?
Right. So it's a tall order, I'll tell you. For California, it's $125 million for the statewide migrant program. That's what we receive. That's what California receives for migrant education for all of the migrant education regions. So it would be a big ask, I think, for the state. Nevertheless, Dr. Gus, the county superintendent, and many others across the state came together and actually were ready to have a proposal to submit to the state legislator and the governor to say, should federal funding go away, here's a proposal. Here's what we think the state could do to come in and support migrant students in the absence of federal funding. So luckily that didn't happen this time around. But yeah, the wagons were circled, if you will, and people took this threat seriously and were ready to take the next step to see how the state could step in and fill that void, because migrant students aren't going away.
No.
The migratory lifestyle, you know, so many families and the students having school be interrupted, that's not going to go away. So how can we, in the absence of federal funding, continue supporting migrant students? There's a lot of people already thinking about that and ready to say, here's a proposal. And hopefully the state legislature or the governor would, would come through.
Hopefully
Yeah,
with our
it's
new
not
governor,
easy.
we hear that. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. And I really appreciate, again, all the work that you guys are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Rick?
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for running it so well. Really great information, and I'm so glad that it's running so well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, I like when we make good decisions. I know at some point there was a question, can you do it as good as we were doing? And the answer is you're doing it better than we were doing. And that's who we always should be thinking about as the students. Can we deliver better programs? Can we develop better staff because there's mentors or there's like-minded people working on the same problem? So thank you for the update. I'm glad we made the right decision, and I'm glad the students are receiving services that are meaningful and better services than we could have provided on our own. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
I just also want to thank you guys. I know it was a very hard decision to make, and it was also a very hard decision for me to swallow. But at the end, I always think that good things happen to good people, and I really want the students to continue to be successful. So I am here for them, and I know it is kind of scary, but I trust that everything would be fine. So thank you.
Thanks, Luisa. Thanks, Constantino.
Thank you.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. And my apologies for, I said the wrong last name.
It doesn't matter.
That-
I've been called
My-
worse. Cabrera is a nice name. I don't have any problem. Yeah. So don't worry about it. I get names mixed up all the time too. I get way too excited. We're good, buddy. We are good. Thank you. Okay, next we have our math textbook pilot process presentation. Woo.
Lots of presentations tonight.
We love presentations. We love presentations. Everybody is doing so many great things. So we love hearing about it.
Good evening. Before we start, I just have to do a big thank you for our teacher teams from Castroville for staying so late. I didn't think it'd be
Yes,
so
we're
late.
sorry.
So good evening, board members, Superintendent Turkey and Cabinet. I'm Kimberly McCulloch, Director of Teaching and Learning, and I'm here with Ms. Fletcher, Mr. Alciati, and Ms. Bobadilla, some of our math pilot teachers, to tell you about our journey and our experience this year. So we're excited to share this journey with you as we went through a math textbook adoption for grades K to 8. So we're going to tell it as a story. So starting in this role, one of the first needs that I heard from teachers and administrators was that a new math textbook was needed in our district. Knowing that California was going to adopt their math textbooks in November and that most other districts would be adopting next year, we needed to come up with a timeline for this year to meet the urgent needs of our district and our community. We wanted to make sure that in this process, the voices of the community, the staff, and the students were taken. And so we got together to plan how to get input from our community and how to build understanding with community and staff of the framework and the mathematical practices. So we started with a dinner with the superintendent. So Dr. Turkey got to get his math groove back on. And so he started off doing a mathematical task with our parents and our families that engaged them in mathematics. And then we were able to connect this to some of the shifts in mathematics that had happened back from when they were students in the classroom to what now the new expectations are with the math practices and some of the shifts in the framework. After that first meeting with our community, I received sample rubrics from some of our community partners and from Laura, who is one of our MCOE math curriculum specialists, and from Research Online. And from going through these different rubrics, we looked at what are the most important things that we need to see in a math adoption in our district. For the next dinner with the superintendent, we again started with a task that our parents and community engaged in. And then we put up posters that you could see here around the room that had some of those elements from the rubric. And so we asked our community, what is most important to you? As a parent, you know your child. As a parent, I know where my child might need support. I know what in a textbook would help me support my child at home and what was valuable to me in looking at the needs of my child. So our parents got sticky dots and they went around and they marked what was most important to them that they wanted to see in a math adoption and a textbook and a rubric that we created. Some of the priorities that our community shared was ensuring that it was standards aligned, followed the math practices, that the materials built from simple to more complex, that there was a balance of conceptual understanding, procedural fluency. Fact fluency also came up, and really important to our parents was supports for English learners, that our program was in English and Spanish, and supports for our students with disabilities. So after we gathered the input from the community, at the same time, we also started looking at who would be on our math leadership team and our math pilot for our textbook adoption. So I sent out a survey to teachers, and I have to say I am so impressed with our teachers. They are amazing. So we had 15 teachers, some of them are here tonight too, that said we want to be a part of the leadership team. And the leadership team was tasked with taking on what textbooks were we going to pilot. And they were pulled out 2 separate days to do an investigation, to learn, and to really share their feedback on what we're looking for in a math adoption. I also want to shout out Miss Wall, our MTSS TOSA from Echo Valley, who has been my thought partner and co-planner in this whole process and has just been an amazing supporter. For our math pilot, we had 36 teachers who volunteered to pilot the program. Every single school was represented, every single grade level was represented. We also had biliteracy teachers in the pilot, and we had a resource teacher and one of our special day class teachers as well. So knowing that these newly adopted instructional materials would be aligned to the California Math Framework, it was important that we understood what the shifts in the framework were so that the teachers would understand the setup of the materials that they were looking at for adoption. So we worked with Ms. Carey from MCOE, the math specialist, who came in and did a training with our leadership team. So as part of that training, the teachers shared their priority of what they're looking for in a curriculum, just like our community and family shared. And then they also did the same process of going through the different elements and putting their sticky dots. And as you can see in some of the pictures, after the teachers and the leadership team had put what they valued in a curriculum, what was most important to them, we put what the community valued side by side, and they could see, and I think you see Ms. Fletcher in there pointing, the connections that we saw across and how so many of the values that the community had were also things that were very important to our teachers. And when there was differences, we had those discussions as well. So these priority areas became the foundations of the rubric that we used as a leadership team to go through the math curriculum materials. So this is the instructional rubric. So after we had met with the leadership team, then I created the rubric and sent it out with the team who gave me feedback. And then Miss Wall, she's my partner in everything, like it was amazing. We spent a whole day at MCOE with Miss Carrie, their MCOE math specialist, going through the adoption materials. We went in so excited. We're like, we are going to find the unicorn. We are going to find the instructional materials that have everything our community wants, and it's going to be amazing. We were very, very excited. And at the end of the day, we realized there was no unicorn. There was nothing that had everything. So we really just had to look at which one really was meeting most of the needs, because unfortunately, we were not able to find everything that met all of the areas of the rubric we looked at. So some of the areas we were really looking at were the standard development and how it progressed. Supporting the needs of our English learners. We have a district with a high number of English learners and students with disabilities. We need to make sure those supports are built in. And the progression of the standards throughout the unit. So we took 4 back to our math leadership team. We took Classroom Mathematics, Eureka Math Squared, Carnegie Math, and Amplify Desmos. And then the leadership team, as you can see here, spent a whole day with those 4, going through each one and using the rubric to evaluate it, to talk about it, to look at all the instructional materials. Some were online, some were in the textbook, and really spent a lot of time deciding which ones best met the needs of our students and met their needs as a teacher. So from that, they narrowed it down to 2, Classroom Mathematics and Eureka Math Squared California. And so then we were ready to launch our pilot. So now we went from our 15 leadership team to our 36 with the whole pilot team. So there you can see many of our amazing pilot teachers who were there being trained in how to implement the new curriculum. And again, I just have to give them so much kudos because this is in the middle of the year. This is in January. We're getting into the spring. It's a busy time of year. And they were there and they were ready to dive in and just jump in and really try and find the best instructional materials to support our students. So we had a training in classroom mathematics and we launched our first pilot. I had the opportunity to visit some of the classes and it was just so amazing to see it in person with the students, to hear the student discussion, hear the academic discourse. They were talking like little mini mathematicians and this was a first grade class. So I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So it was just incredible to see the students learning and to hear the rich discourse as I went through the classes. After the end of the first pilot, we did our training on the second pilot, the Eureka California Math Squared. And again, I had the opportunity to visit the classes, to see students engage. There was this amazing fraction bar lesson that connected the fraction bar to a number line. And I was like, oh, my students would have gotten number lines so much better if I'd had this lesson. So just seeing the connections students were making and hearing from teachers what was working and what wasn't working. At the end of every single pilot, we did a survey. So the teachers took a survey and shared how that instructional material fit with the rubric and gave their feedback, what was strong, what were concerns. And the students did a survey. And I loved seeing the students' survey responses also, from really saying this textbook worked really well. I enjoyed the manipulatives. I like talking with my friends, to comments like, I need vitamin gummies right now. You just never know what you're going to get when you have a survey with our students. It was awesome. So at the close of it, we met all together with the team and I shared all the results of the surveys, and the team shared what they saw with both curriculums. And both curriculums had strengths and both curriculums had areas that were not so strong. And neither one of them was perfect and neither one of them was like off the chart. We think this is the number one, but really looking at all the strengths that they have, which one best meets the needs of our students, which one most aligns with what our community is looking for in a math adoption. So we did a vote and the vote was very close and it was like 50-50, right? We were watching it go. It was like 1-1. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a tie. But at the end of the day, we did have one that had a higher percentage. And so the one that we are recommending to bring to our community and the public is Eureka Math Squared with a 58.1%, and Classroom Mathematics had a 41.9% of the vote. And so I wanted to have some of our amazing teachers here share their experience with it, because they are the warriors in the classroom, trying it out, doing this in the spring semester when it's crazy. So I will turn it over to you.
Hi.
Hi there, I'm Stephanie Fletcher. I teach 5th grade at Castroville. I was lucky enough to do this pilot with my whole teams. All 3 of us were a part of the pilot, and I had not experienced either of these curriculums, but one team member had experienced Eureka and one team member had worked with iReady before. So we really had unique perspectives going in. I was relatively neutral. They both clearly had their winner. But doing it as a team was really great. We were able to plan together. One of the things that we ended up coming to talking about at the end was Eureka had it had more fluency work, which we found really fascinating. Every single lesson started with fluency, and the lessons, while they were long, there's many pages of script, but we all came out of that knowing the math, understanding the math better for ourselves, and knowing that our students had more strategies and skills instead of that were explicitly taught. So Eureka really explicitly taught those skills and strategies all along the way. In our little team, I ended up leaning towards Eureka. Of course, our Eureka teacher was leaning towards Eureka, and even our iReady teacher who had the experience, she was like, I could go either way. So it really was clear with the way that we taught and what we saw with the curriculum and what our students saw. Our students were not excited to have a math book in front of them because we've been teaching in all sorts of different ways with trying to make it work and all the FIAB work we've been doing. Excuse me. So when we first got the math books, they were definitely a little disappointed. But when we got to the end of our Eureka pilot, they were sad to see the math books be done for the year, right? So it was interesting to see that happen as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, it's me again, Betsy Bobadilla, 3rd grade at Castroville. I really appreciated this program. Like the structure it had and everything that you need was already embedded. So as teachers, we didn't have to go looking for what works for fluency. Does this flow here? And so just the way the lessons were planned out really helped the teacher and really helped the students. And since I learned from the best, I took a page from Gigi's book and I brought data to compare it. So for iReady, I gave them the FIAB after the unit, and only one of my students was able to be at grade level. 10 of my students were approaching grade level and 10 of my students were below grade level. With Eureka Math Square, and I want to mention that we were only in 1.5 to 2 weeks in with the pilot. So I gave them the pre-assessment with the FIAB. 2 of my students were already proficient at grade level. 16 of my students were at a 2, so getting to grade level, and only 1 was below grade level. So when I saw that, I just feel like the students are the heart of our work. And when they're feeling successful, I'm feeling successful. And I saw this program work for our ELs, our English language learners, and our students with special needs. I have one student who struggles with math, and I saw her excitement with fractions, which is really hard concept to understand, especially when you're learning it for the first time in 3rd grade. The way she would raise her hand and answer correctly, that's when I was sold. When I saw my student with special needs being successful and enjoying math. And then on behalf of my students, very, very weirdly, they really, really love the exit ticket at the end of the lesson. It just gave them this ownership of, did I learn the lesson or do I have to go back and review? So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Elciati. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Castroville Elementary, and I am that funny math teacher that you heard about earlier from my student. And something that was said tonight, right now, that really touched me was students are the heart of our work. And that's kind of behind one of the quotes up there. I see the lesson content, standards progression, and CRA model of Eureka provided better access for my students. And that's really what I found to be very true in my class. And I wanted to say that, there are many reasons that I could talk about why I voted for Eureka, but the one that's really the most powerful to me and my students was the CRA instructional model, which is concrete, representational, and abstract. Concrete being manipulatives, fraction tiles, counting blocks, things that they can really physically engage with. and inquire about the mathematical concepts we're learning. Representational, that's visual models, that's area models, number lines, things that demonstrate very visually the concepts that we want them to learn. And what I found to be so powerful about these is that so much of both of these strategies foster student understanding of why the abstract standard algorithm works the way it does. And, the standard algorithm was the way that we were taught. And I was never taught really, truly the concepts behind why math works the way it does. So it was always so powerful for me as a teacher who had maybe taught Eureka previously to see, oh, as a teacher, to understand, to learn, to grow myself and become a better teacher myself, because now I'm not just teaching them. These are the steps that you follow, but this is why it works. And you can use these different strategies from the visual aids to actually solve the problems that we're asking them to do. So ultimately, I had to go with Eureka because, this is very empowering. This is empowering what we're offering them. We're offering our students the opportunity to understand the mathematical concepts in a way that we were never taught. And it's a way that truly serves our multilingual learners by creating an access point that is culturally responsive. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say one more thing really quick, and that is about Kim and about this pilot. This was a very short pilot. I've been on pilots before, and they're usually chaotic regardless of how much time you have. And Kim did such an amazing job, not only taking the short amount of time that we had and making everything we needed to do fit in that time, she also made it not feel chaotic. And we were just listening to her a moment ago talking about all the steps we did and looking around like, oh, that was a lot of work, but it didn't necessarily feel like it at the time. And I just wanted to highlight that Kim did such an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so our next steps in this is we wanted to take it to you tonight to share the recommendation and then open it up to public viewing to get feedback and input from our community. And then after that, we'll look through the comments from our community, and then we would come to you in 30 days with a recommendation on which one to move forward with. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to open it up to public comment.
I understand and appreciate the hard work that Kim and everybody has put into this project. As a classroom volunteer, I witnessed the piloting of both curricula. I have some comments that the board should be aware of. First, the not chosen iReady classroom mathematics curriculum was far too wordy with far too little actual math practice. Exactly the opposite of what the parents requested during the curriculum meeting. I want to give you an example of a 6th grade lesson. And as you listen, bear in mind our community of language learners and that this lesson replaces foundational practice on actual math problem and is not in addition to it. Okay, quote, talk about it. How are the relationships 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer and 60 minutes equals 1 hour similar to rates? There are 2 rates that relate meters and kilometers. In the second modelet, y is 1/1000th, the unit rate that is used to convert 3,200 meters to kilometers. Show what you know. Explain how converting between measurements is similar to finding equivalent ratios. Until you witness students struggle to come up with sentence answers to these questions, you don't appreciate what an ordeal and how time-consuming it is, especially for kids in this district where they are lacking with foundational reading and math skills. The final question asks, quote, reflect. Think about all the models and strategies you have discussed today. Describe how one of them helped you to better understand how to convert between units of measure. Here I quote to you the answer of one of the more enthusiastic kids in the class gave to this question. And this is a sincere answer, not sarcasm. Quote, in my opinion, I'm not sure. I don't know how to do it. So, what's the point? It's heartbreaking watching students struggle with these sentences instead of practicing foundational skills. This curriculum should not have been piloted. Of the 2, Eureka is definitely the better choice. However, it has some issues, as they alluded to. And this is reflected in that 63% of teachers gave it a 2 out of 3. Not really the level of enthusiasm that one would hope for with a curriculum you plan to use for 10 years and hope it will help with our district's math proficiency issues. Teachers are already discussing the workarounds that they will need. The Singapore math curriculum, Math in Focus, based on how students learn math, should have been piloted. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Any other public comment? Do we have any on Zoom? Okay.
English is a second language. Math is a universal language. I trust that whatever we do going forward is the right choice for the people and the community of this town. I know we're making strides in trying to make things better for everybody, but in the past, this school has been recognized as a distinguished school, and we went away from that. I'd like to see whatever we need to get done for our students, whether it's hiring better teachers, hiring more teachers, more help, more support. That's what we need. We need to continue to be able to support the staff of this district in being able to give them the support that they need to make sure that they are not revolving teachers. We need to have a foundation and we need to have a stable environment for our students to be successful in. Creating this pink slips for this and firing this person, that doesn't help our students. So we need to make sure that when we hire students and when we hire teachers, they're here for the long term.
Okay, thank you for your public comment. Do we have any public comment on Zoom? No, okay, I'm going to close public comment and I'm going to open it up to the board. I'm going to start with you, Adriana.
Thank you for the presentation. I kind of had a question, but I'm not really sure if it's like more of a comment or a question. But I wanted to ask, like, after seeing like the progress that this has had for, I believe K through 12, or not K through 12, K through 8, I wanted to ask if there would be any transition into the high school, kind of bringing this to the high school. And I know it might not be exactly the same program, but just kind of like the method of structure, bringing that to the high school. But I do understand that this is in its early stages and that you're like kind of piloting it, so it might not be a thought yet. I just wanted to bring up the idea.
So we will do a high school adoption. I think our curriculum license, we have one more year with the license we have. So we'll probably start looking at them next year to do an adoption. So the Eureka only goes to 8th grade. But there will be, the high school teachers would be looking at a new math and would do the similar format when we do the high school adoption.
Okay.
Is that the question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. I'm going to start with Rick.
Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. I love the way everything went down with the collaboration and the input and the teamwork. I wish more things in our district. I mean, we do, but just it's great. Basically, is what I want to say, and I love seeing that, and yeah, just the input from everyone to collaborate is what I love the best. Thank you for all your hard work, all you guys.
Thank you, Rick. Martha?
No, obviously, I really appreciate the way you broke down all the work behind the scenes to get to where you're at today. And the fact that you guys are exploring it, with everyone and getting feedback. And I know you explained the next steps and everything, but I really love some of the things, the example that the teacher gave on already testing it with some of the students. That spoke volumes to me. And then the culturally being responsive to that, it's a universal for all. So thank you. And I look forward to the next steps.
Thanks, Martha. Angela?
Actually, I do. Actually, prepared about 10 to 12 questions to ask for you. And I'm trying to narrow it down for time. Because one question that, that I heard too is that, believe it or not, I talked to other trustees from Northern California about this. And I've been talking to trustees from other districts. Everyone keeps talking about Singapore math. I had experience with iReady and I was not impressed with iReady. In fact, if you guys brought it here, I would do everything I can to shoot iReady down. My own children, I'll just bias, my own children are using Eureka Math. I do see the pros and cons of it. I'm not displeased with Eureka Math. But I am curious, why didn't we try, did we try Singapore Math?
So it was brought up, it was not adopted by California. If you look on ed reports, it's actually a red on the indicators where the ones that were piloted were green. And it was interesting, I just actually had this conversation with a parent yesterday who is using Singapore Math with his students homeschooling. And what we were looking at ed reports was that the grade level standards are not taught in each grade. So he was saying his student was in, I think it was like 5th grade, and some of the standards that they're teaching are actually the grade above. So it's really important that we're teaching the grade level standards and the bands, and that we have in a curriculum the supports for our students that are multilingual learners, that are students with special needs. And with the Eureka Math, there's a whole UDL component built into it of making sure we're providing access to all students. So yes, we did look at it, but we decided we wanted to move forward with the curriculums that were adopted by California.
Okay, and then I did do background regarding California Math Standard 2.0, I'm sorry, OA.2 and 3.08.7 with math fact fluency. I want to know more about math fact fluency. I've asked around, I'll be honest, for over a year and a half, I feel like I'm getting the runaround about the difference between fluency and math fact fluency. And I've done my own background to figure out what it is, but I want to hear from you. What is the difference?
So there's a difference, right? So there's a fluency with numbers and the automaticity, which a lot of the curriculums have. So knowing how to like group and ungroup numbers, knowing how to add them together, knowing how to do it in your head and understand what that means, that's fluency. What I think we've heard from David is talking about the math fact fluency. Like I know all my multiplication tables, I know my addition tables, and both are important, right? And the math fact fluency is a standard for 3rd grade and for 2nd grade, but yet fluency itself is a bigger, broader issue that is so important. And that is something that the teachers mentioned Eureka practices every day, is that understanding of numbers and how they work. So they're both important in different ways.
They are, but here's where I'm getting confused, because those standards, I understand math fluency, but the standards just say fact fluency.
And those specific standards, right? And so there's all the standards for the grade level, and that is one standard in the grade level for 3rd grade that they know their times tables.
And then I was looking at that presentation, which was a good presentation, but it's one of the teachers says that there's fluency here, but yet on the California dashboard, our dashboard doesn't show that our kids have the fluency. So was that talking about the book, or are we talking about our students have the fluency?
I'm not clear on the question.
And there was a
A comment at the end?
Yes.
Comment, the slide with all the different comments.
Do you want to share more about the fluency section?
It's in the book. It's already embedded in the book, the fluency.
Book. I thought you were saying our schools have the fluency down. Like, well, that kind of goes against.
No, in the
No.
book there's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if I can mention, the fact fluency in the book is different every day. And so you really get to see who is getting it and who is not. And so you get to see, oh, this student needs more help here, so let me go help him or her. And instead of like just guessing when we don't have a framework, or when we didn't have a framework.
I gotta go to the bathroom, sorry.
I'll still be talking about it back.
And you're welcome to send, if you have more questions, so you're welcome to send them to me, and I'm happy to share some answers.
It's like I don't understand where it feels like we're having a hesitancy with math fact fluency. From my understanding in my own research, it's about a 5-minute drill. Why can't we do a 5-minute drill? You don't have to answer that right now,
Yeah.
but you do want an answer on it.
No, because I think it's a valid question. And I think it's kind of also like first things first, right? Do we have a curriculum that is our strong tier 1 instruction? And if we don't have a strong tier 1 instruction, we can do all the interventions we want, but we're treating a problem that's up here when we need to create the foundation here, right? So adopting a solid curriculum is step 1. And then within the curriculum, there is some fact fluency. So then we can see, is that enough? Or do we need to look at an outside intervention program? Then that would be step 2. Right? So I think we start with our base and our foundation, and then we see what additional interventions are needed. And I looked at, and so part of the problem is like to do the time test, it's 5 minutes, but you got to gather the data, you got to record the data, you got to make the copies. So nothing is quite as quick as it might seem. So those are some of the discussions that we've had.
I'm going over, you're coming back in 30 days, right? Because I do want to see what data we're going to get from Eureka Math. I'm still, like I said, I'm really confused, because we saw great strides with Castroville. using the old curriculum, but they use math fact fluency. Am I wrong?
Do you
or-
want to say?
Let me- correct me here.
We at Castroville were not using the old curriculum in the way that you're thinking. We
Okay.
were focused on using FIABs and teaching.
Could you spell out the acronym for everybody?
Yes.
Stephanie?
No, I
First on
actually
the-
don't know. FIABs.
It's the formative interim
Focused
assessment.
Yeah, okay.
block.
The interim assessments, focused interim assessment blocks.
The CAS.
So these are the CAS practice tests. So that was our work that we did that really showed great results at Castroville, was using those release questions from CASP and helping our students learn the skills and apply them to these wordy, deeper questions that CASP asks. That's where you saw our results. It was not because we were using the old curriculum. It was because of that work that we did.
And if I can just put something in as well, I don't believe that anybody is against math fact fluency or is not saying, hey, we're not going to do math fact fluency.
Well, I'll just clarify. Not saying that it was said, but that's the feeling that I'm getting just for overhearing. And
So-
the vagueness in the responses is how I am interpreting that, and I wanted clarification on it.
And I think just to put in as well, what you may have heard from me is something more balanced, right? So math fact fluency doesn't work in a vacuum, right? You have to balance it also with conceptual understanding and with application. Without the conceptual understanding, at some point, the math fact fluency is just not going to stick because it won't make sense. Right? You have to have the conceptual understanding that multiplication is repeated addition. You have to have the conceptual understanding that division is the opposite of multiplication to actually tie these things in together. Otherwise, the drills, it won't stick. Now, I'm not saying that doing the math fact fluency isn't a good thing. It is, but it needs to be balanced with the conceptual understanding and then the application. So, I think that balance is important. And yes, is math fact fluency important? Yes. It's a yes and.
And many teachers are doing it. I've gone in classrooms or I've seen them doing it, not with a specific program, but with practice.
All right, if we're coming back in 30 days, right?
So 30 days, we'll come back with a recommendation for adoption.
Okay, because I just want to share this before you go. So when I taught here at my ninth grade students, all my ninth grade students were at a sixth grade or fifth grade math level. So I'm hoping that by choosing this new format, we can close a gap here. Another issue I found with multilinguals is like, I know we can say math is a universal language, but the Spanish books that we had at the high school were Castilian Spanish, not Spanish spoken and read here. And so it might as well have been just German or something else.
Huh.
We need to find better ways. I'm not saying we're not, but we need to find some different alternatives to help close the gap here and provide more supports for our students because they could understand what 3 times 3 is, but it's given to them in word problems. And then they take their assessment. They can't, the assessment's in English. So they'll have multiple students, a 40-minute assessment test, be done in 3 minutes. So, all right.
Well, and part of that goes back to reading too, right? So teaching them the reading stamina and how reading and math. are interconnected.
We also have migrant students that showed up. They're brand new in our country. So we got to find different alternatives that helps catch a larger group. All right.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for going through this process. I think it's always important to look at our process. You know, where are the flaws in our process? Some of the frustrations I've had as a board member or a community member is we do spend money and then teachers don't fully adopt or utilize the curriculum, right? That's the frustrating part where you're like, we want to give teachers something good, something they can rely on. And I know there is no unicorn, not in people, not in products. There is no unicorn. I guess the question is our process as good as it could be? When you do narrow down the math products you looked at, was there any bias, and ultimately you're the subject matter expert, so we're going to trust you. So I really do thank you and the teachers for going through this process. And so I would just ask that you always evaluate the process to make it better. And thank you for your work on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I'd like to recommend if we
Uh-huh.
can table the demographics presentation because
You need to
know-
make a motion.
I'd like to
Adam?
make a motion and I'll tell you why, because I know that the trustee also was interested in this presentation. And also because I know there's families that have been waiting for a presentation that's on discussion. So I'd like a motion. If we can table
Okay,
that.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, motion is tabled till next meeting.
Okay.
Or, yeah, student and family demographic presentation is tabled to next meeting. Okay, we're going to go for public comment on non-agenda matters. And I would like to invite Victor Galvez up to the podium, please. Thank you for your patience. Sorry for making you wait so long.
Oh, good evening, board members.
Um,
We got one. Victor Galvez, North County Middle School wrestling coach. Was here a few weeks ago talking about some issues that I had. Dr. Turkey, thank you for calling, and I think those few things are being resolved with the information we got. The reason I'm coming back here is because there was one thing that on my list was the donations and the payment to some of our coaches that we did some tournaments last year. And at this point, I feel like my communication has been good with my athletic director. But at this moment, I want to find out, it's been a little stagnant. We did 2 tournaments this year that haven't got paid for. So for me, I just want to know how we move on from this point. Like things have happened, but at this point, we want to continue to have a good program and pay our bills. So who is the next person involved? Because I'm not part of the student body that as at the middle school with my AD. So who from this point takes that on? Because I know Dr. Turkey, we also there's funds in there to cover probably everything and have some left over. I'm just trying to figure out what the next step is and who's responsible for that step if they have everything.
So what I'm going to ask you to do, Victor, if that's okay, is Brenda Ramirez, who's our CBO, who's sitting actually just over here, she's trying to mouth some words to me here, but I can't quite hear them. But I think that she has an answer to your question.
Okay, great. So get with her.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do.
Thank you, Victor.
and, yeah,
What's that? Was there something else or?
no, please
Okay,
finish.
so my other thing is that we were told not to go to any tournaments, and I don't want to let the students down. We did go to a tournament this past weekend, and we brought home an all-girls second place trophy that we haven't had for the school. We did a fantastic job. And this is what it's all about, right? To have them go and be proud of what they're doing, being part of the school, continuing the pride of North County is really what we want. But these little bumps in the road, I understand that we might have some, but if we can move on from that, hopefully we could get that and continue this good program.
And just for clarification, I did speak with the site administration, and in terms of attending any more tournaments, that should be no problem at all.
Okay.
The road is clear to attend tournaments.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
You're
One
welcome.
last thing I want to say is track has a track, basketball's got the hoops in the court. When it comes down to our mat, 4 years ago, we had a donation of $2,000 to buy us a used mat. Whose responsibility is it to buy the mat if it's going to be used through the school? I wasn't sure who takes care of that responsibility, if the school does, or is that something that we have to find donations for?
I'll follow up with you on that one, Victor.
Sounds good.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Sir, it's the school. It's the school.
All right. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And Dr. Turkey will make sure you get your mat.
Thank you.
Thanks for your public comment. Okay, next we have Alex Rivera. Do you have a public comment, Alex?
As a coach, to come up here and hear that our students are not getting their needs met is obviously it's a lot better than what we used to hear, but it's still something that's lingering. I hope that, nobody's out there threatening our coaches, shutting down any types of programs, because wrestling, football, baseball, soccer, whatever sports these kids are playing, it's going to be better than having them on the streets. So we need to make sure that whatever programs are needed for our students, that we provide those. The school is a good place to be able to get those resources because we have the money here. We have the time, we have the efforts. Like I said, I'm very proud of where the direction of this program is really headed. Our school district, you guys, staff, everybody's made it easier for me to be able to do things on a personal level and feel good about leaving my community in the future. So I guess I just wanted to end with that and just say whatever resources we are able to provide for our students, we shouldn't have to come here and still continue to, have something lingering over their heads about losing a job. Those tournaments are very important. That's where a lot of friendships are made. A lot of times that's where they get to travel. Some parents don't get to take their kids out for the weekend because they're working till 7, 8 p.m. And if this is an opportunity for them to get exposure to other parts of this state, we'd like to help. Even if it has to be privately funded, we got some resources as well.
Alex,
Yes.
on here you had speak on visit to middle school bond meeting. Did
Yes.
you want to touch on that?
Yes, I was going to touch on that as well. So basically, every penny's going to be needed. If we're going to be passing the bond, we need to get behind everybody. We need to make sure that everybody's on the same page when it comes to trustees, community members, board members. Anybody who's going to get behind this needs to be behind this now. The need is now. We need the money. I'm 100% in support of it. We went to the site visit at North County. A lot of needs there with HVAC. Some of those structures and buildings were there when I was around, and that was like 30 years ago. So it's a good place to be. It was a good place to be back. It felt very nostalgic, but at the end of the day, I think our students need a little bit more so they can get the comfort, the peace, the education they need.
Okay, thank you,
guys.
Alex. Is there any public comments on Zoom? No? Okay, I'm closing public comment, and we are going to be moving on to board reports, and we're going to start with our student.
I'm gonna wait on the slide deck.
You ready?
Yes. Okay. So if I can get the next slide, please. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay, so going back to last week, we had our annual election convention. And right there pictured, the second picture on the top row is our new cabinet for the 2026-2027 school year. As far as sports, we had our track senior night last Thursday, and we have our Powder Puff week coming up next week with Spirit Days, Battle of the Classes. So every class will have a different dress up day or dress up like thing they should dress up as. And I believe the final game will be on Friday, where 2 of the classes will go against each other. I kind of think that's it for this slide. Next slide, please. And this I wanted to do just kind of a little shout out. At the high school, I'm part of the Condor Community Club, and we were able to do our first event where we partnered with the middle school for Earth Day. So this was yesterday. We had 2 stations where we had birdhouse making, where we had little posters around school during the week for kids to save their milk cartons from lunch so they could build a birdhouse at the Earth Day event. And we also had like pot planting. We had like the little pots, and we had some soil and some seeds for them. And it was really nice just to create connections with the middle school students. I believe they're coming here tomorrow for like kind of a little tour. So it was kind of nice seeing like, oh, are you excited to come on Friday? What do you think? Like, you should join this club when you get to high school. It was a fun time. I did want to shout out everybody that kind of made it happen. Our advisor, Miss Enriquez, and our family and community engagement specialist, Miss Genesis. We basically just threw these ideas at them, and they brought it to life. So we're very grateful for them. And as well as the admin at the middle school, Mr. Rimmer and Ms. Dutz, basically the same thing. We came to them with the proposal and they were 100% behind it. So thank you to them. Next slide, please. So coming up, we have, I'm sure you guys have heard, the Day of the Child on Sunday, Dia del Niño. They have vendors, stations for kids, performances, resources, and so much more. I believe it's from 12:30 to 5 p.m. here at the high school, and it sounds like it's going to be a fun time. So next for spring sports, we have track and field is tied for first place in our league with a win against it was yesterday, Palma, for 3 out of 4 teams. For softball, they recently won against Greenfield on Monday, and baseball has a game today at Also. And I didn't get to put it in there. Oh, I've spoken on the Powder Puff Week next week, but I didn't get to put in there tomorrow's event from the Raices Club, Baile con Raices, at 6 p.m. with performances from all across the district, food vendors, and a good time. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Angelo, do you have a board report?
I have no report.
I have no report.
Rick?
No report.
Okay, I have no report. Well, now we'll move on to our superintendent.
Okay, well, thank you. We can just go straight to slide 2, please, Enrique. Okay, so this time last week we were upstairs in the media center and we held our kickoff meeting for the potential bond. We had very good attendance. All of our principals were there as well, and we essentially went through a process of talking about the need. Okay, and folks have heard me talk about this need before. The need in our schools is pretty dire. Okay. We have portables which need replacing. We have dry rock which needs replacing. We have restrooms which need to be ADA compliant. We have all sorts of things which need to be done, which are simply beyond our capacity to afford as a school district without a bond. And this, we spelled it out in this meeting. We went through each of the needs at each of the schools. We went through what taxes would mean. We went through how much this would cost taxpayers. It would cost $32 per $100,000 of assessed home value. Okay, so for example, if your home costs, is worth $600,000 and you own the home, but it's assessed at $400,000, you would be paying 4 times 32, which is about $128 every year. That's how much that would cost. And this would not trigger a new evaluation of home prices either, of home evaluations. So it was a really good process. And folks got to give input on where their priorities would be. And so we had each of the priorities up on these big posters, and folks had dots to spend. And if you look really carefully in this picture, you can see people spending their dots and showing us where they believe their priorities would be and what we should spend the $40 million on. While it's not enough to do everything, it is enough to do some things. And we got some really good feedback that evening. Next slide, please. So while that evening focused on all of the schools, we now are in the phase where we're going to be visiting each and every one of our schools and actually doing a tour of those school facilities so people can see, members of the public can see up close what are the exact needs at each school. So we went through all of the needs at the middle school today, and then Principal Danny Rimmer and 3 student ambassadors helped us tour around the school and actually showed us the facilities in person. Members of the public were able to ask questions. They were able to get insight from the students and members of the staff about what the priorities are, that type of thing. And again, then we're able to vote and make their priorities known about what they would prefer the first priorities to be at the middle school. Next slide, please. So that is the first of 7 tours. And here on the screen, you can see the dates of the next tours coming up. We'll be here at the high school a week today from 9 to 10:30. then at Prunedale, Castroville, Elkhorn, Central Bay, and Echo Valley with those dates. We invite one and all to come. We do provide the most delicious breakfast burritos from El Chorrito Burrito, which are the best. Gosh, let's see. And there's translation as well. And yeah, come and take a look for yourself. If you have questions, if you're fully in support, come along. If you have questions because you're not fully in support, come along, right? Let's talk. And we'd love you to see the schools for yourselves. Next slide, please. All right. So After School Professionals Week is coming up on April 20th to the 24th. So that's this week. Okay. There'll be a resolution for that in just a second. The next slide, please. I would like to give a shout out to Kathy Machuca.
They're here, but.
Yay! So, Kathy, would your presence is being requested, Kathy. In fact, everyone after school professionals,
yeah,
please come up to the front. After school professionals, thank you so much. And we do know that you have a resolution coming, but we also wanted to thank you for all of the work which you do. We know that first thing in the morning, okay, after school, also on weekends, also during the summer, also during all of the breaks which we have, that we can rely upon you all, not only to look after our students and our children, but also to provide them an education, to provide them those enrichment opportunities, to provide them with the ongoing academic support, social emotional learning support, the behavioral support. And it really, really is a wonderful thing for our district. And now, Kathy, I'm going to say a few words about you as well, because I've been inquiring about you, Kathy, right? And I'm going to just repeat a few things which keep on coming up. And these are responsible, takes initiative, very kind-hearted, caring and nurturing, a great team player and very collaborative. And for all of those qualities, Kathy, I know that you have also earned the NEST coordinator, the Excellent Award from Monterey County Office of Education, Expanded Learning. So congratulations. Did you want to say a few words, Kathy?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you and to my wonderful team, because I know I couldn't do it without them, without their support. They're always encouraging us to, encourage our whole team, our educators, to always, dream big for the kids and, always supplying us with everything that we need. So I couldn't do what I do without them and without my team. So, I mean, it is a team effort. And so I get this award because of all of them. So, thank
Okay,
you.
well,
Thank you,
congratulations.
Kathy.
Congratulations. Carol, would you like to say a few words about
Yes,
Kathy?
definitely. So I'm sorry, I thought we were doing it during the proclamation, so my apologies for not having it ready here.
Oh, no. I think we were, but here we are.
Great, yes.
Here we are.
Let's carpe
this is
diem.
perfect.
Let's
This is
seize the
perfect.
moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I just want to thank Kathy for staying here and acknowledge all of her family who's been
Yes,
waiting and
thank
want to
you.
acknowledge.
We're sorry. We gotta have nice at the front.
And Kathy is going to be at the school at 6 a.m. to open the doors
Oh
for
my God, I'm
students and
sorry.
families. So I know she's tired. So
Sorry, thank you.
No, it's okay. Kathy, well, NEST, our after-school programs are NEST, Nutrir, Educar, Socializar, y Triunfar. Nurture, educate, socialize, and thrive. And Kathy embodies nurture. She's loving, kind-hearted, generous, communicative, team player. She's just a wonderful human being, and she uplifts everyone that she encounters in her work. In her work and in her life, obviously, as you can tell. We are so proud and happy to have Kathy as part of our team. She's been a part of Elkhorn School for many, many years now, And the families just love her very much, and all of her staff love her very much. And you just go on site in the after school program and you can see the community that Kathy has built. And we're just so lucky to be able to acknowledge her and honor her today. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Rotary, we need you. We need a picture. We need a picture. Yeah, the whole family. Let's go. Let's do this, guys.
Hey,
Let's
come up to the
stretch.
front, everybody.
Stretch. Let's come to the front. Over here, you guys. In the middle, the circle of love. Oh.
Special.
Or what is it? It's not a circle of love. Okay, let's go.
You can open the text though.
Okay, here we go. She said, please let me out.
Thank you for acknowledging Miss Kathy. She really does embody the N in NEST, which is nurture, and all of the kids and adults at Elkhorn and throughout the program will say that. And that's the reason that she's here, because of the way that she makes people feel around her. And that's the best one. And also her PBIS incentives are the best in the district. Everyone loves her student store. So the kids love Miss Kathy's student store.
Thanks, Jeremy.
That feels like it should be the final slide, but it isn't actually. There is actually one. Okay. So our final slide tonight is the team spotlight, and this is to recognize bus driver appreciation. And I do know that again, we'll be doing a resolution in a minute. Just look at this double rainbow just here, just by the way, it is pretty amazing, isn't it? Right? But our bus drivers, as we know, are so important. First of all, just for the logistics of like, how do we get our students to school every single day on time in 70 square miles, right? So first of all, from a logistical perspective, so important. And then secondly, no less important is the social and emotional perspective of it as well. Our bus drivers are the very first person from our school district, which our students see each and every day. And they're the last person from our school district, which our students see each and every day. That interaction when the students get on the bus right there in the morning is so important. That can set their day. That can set their day. A smile from the bus driver. How you doing, bud? Come on in. Okay. Sure. It sets you up on the right foot. Same thing when you're going home. How was your day, bud? How are things? Okay, so this is a huge shout out to our bus drivers. You are very much appreciated, and we will be seeing you very soon on Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Thank you.
Does that conclude your?
That does conclude the superintendent report.
Wonderful. We are going to be moving on to our CSCA report. Is there anyone here to provide one on the behalf of CSCA? Anybody on Zoom? Nope. Okay, we're going to move on to our Teachers Federation. Is there anybody here to provide report? No. Is there anybody on Zoom? Okay, seeing on none, we're going to move on to our discussion, action, or information items. We're going to start with adopt resolution number 2025-2638, affirmation of April 2026 as Autism Acceptance Month.
All
Good night,
right.
Adriana. Thank you for being a true presence for us.
What are you giving to us here?
I don't know that we deserve these. Thank you,
All
Seth.
right. Good evening again,
Very good.
Superintendent Turkey.
I love someone with autism.
Board members. We are very happy to be here with you this evening to share our resolution for April 2026, recognizing it as Autism Acceptance Month. I'll just give you a short blurb. So, autism spectrum disorders are a group of developmental disabilities that may cause significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges across the lifespan of an individual. Our district currently educates approximately 155 students with a primary disability of autism. We all here recognize, and in our community and department, that educating autistic students from infancy and toddlerhood all the way through graduation and our young adult program requires commitment to meaningful collaboration with our families, our wonderful staff, and our loving community. This resolution supports all of our commitment to autism acceptance. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You want to add something, Stephanie?
Yeah, I would like, I seen that there was an empty flagpole at the district office. I don't know why we have 3 flagpoles with 2 flags, but I'm presenting this to you on behalf of myself, an autism mom, and the autism moms of, or families of this district.
Beautiful.
I was waiting for this, Stephanie. Thank you.
Very nice.
What a beautiful idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to open it up to public comment. Okay, is there any public comment on Zoom? Okay, I'm going to close public comment and then I'll start with you, Rick.
Thank you for bringing this resolution. As always, it's something that definitely needs to be recognized. And thank you, Stephanie, for always helping out with everything. You're just such a gem. And obviously, again, thank you for everything you do for the district.
Thank you, Rick. Bertha?
No, thank you. This is so important. I really appreciate, the kind words that were said. And Stephanie, thank you so much. This is such a great idea with the flag. I love that.
They're
I
asking
love
for
it. But that's just so, you've always been so creative, and innovative and supporting, the needs of our special ed students. And just thank you. Thank you for all of you guys, what you do. And the number that you just shared, I had no idea. I mean, I know that's so thank you. Thank you for providing this.
Angela?
Thank you, Allison, for coming out here. Like I said, I always enjoy hearing the presentations you bring. And like I said, I love what we're doing now. Starting to thank members of our community that put in a lot of hours in their own free personal time. Thank you, Stephanie, like I said, for the short time that I've known you on the board for 2 years. You've got a lot of awareness and helped me see new things that I've never seen based on your experience and you being a parent. So also just really look forward to seeing what more you share with us. And I hope others in the community come out and help out too.
Yeah, thank you. This is a wonderful resolution. As Adriana pointed out last time, it's acceptance. So accepting, differences, and that can be the beauty of the individual. And I think, as the rest of the board has said, you're one fierce warrior mom. And it's wonderful when our community comes to speak to us about the things they're passionate about, because then it helps us to understand where we should focus time and attention. So thank you for the presentation. I'm going to invite a motion, which I should have done first, but I'm a little bit discombobulated, but I will invite a motion, please, to adopt. Okay, is there a second? Okay. Adopt resolution 2025-2638, affirmation of April 2026 as Autism Acceptance Month. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to move on to recognizing April 28th, 2026 as California School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Hi, Brenda.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've had the pleasure of really getting to know our transportation department over the last year, but specifically over the last couple of weeks. And I just want to say how truly thankful I have been to get to know them and to get to know the work that they are doing. We are incredibly fortunate at this district to have drivers who genuinely care about our students. And that's just, it's something really special. So I'm proud that we have good drivers here. Hector wasn't able to be here today, but he did ask me to say that he is also incredibly grateful for all the work that they do above and beyond just driving the students, and also the patience that they have and the kindness that they have while driving them. I want to sincerely thank our school bus drivers and our transportation staff. You stole my speech, but I was also going to say they are the first smile. It's true. They're the first smile that the students see, and they're also often the last smile. They care and they show and make a big difference in the lives of our students every day. They help create a sense of safety and belonging before our students even step into our campus. We are deeply grateful for all that our drivers do, not only for our students and our families and our community. And I just want to say thank you for showing up for our students every single day. They show up Monday through Friday, but sometimes even on weekends. There are field trips, there's athletic type of activities. And so they really are there for our students every single day. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none here, is there public comment on Zoom? No, okay. I am going to invite a motion.
I motion.
Okay.
Second.
Now I'm going to open it up for discussion or questions or comments. I'm going to start with you, Angela.
No, that's a great resolution, but on top of this resolution, I hope that we also just make a commitment to our bus drivers. They've shown up here multiple times this year asking for help. And I hope, let's not have this paper just be in vain. Let's actually step up and address their concerns. Let them know that we actually do care and we are listening. And the board's watching to see if we follow through.
Thank you, Angela. Martha?
No, we just said it earlier, Dr. Turkey, how important, our bus drivers are. They're the first ones that greet our children and get them in that spirit of love and caring. So this is an important resolution for all they do, especially in the rural area that we're in. I know it's challenging sometimes.
Thank you, Martha. Rick?
Just glad that we have this resolution, glad that they be recognized, and that they know it, that we care and that we appreciate them so much, and happy to support this resolution.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Next, we're going to be moving on to adopt resolution 2025-2636, proclaiming April 20th through the 24th, 2026 as After School Professionals Appreciation Week. Hi, Carol.
Hello. Good evening again. They're running away from me. Good evening, President Ruiz, Superintendent Turkey, Board, and community members. I'm Carol Ortiz, Director of Expanded Learning. I'm here with Jeremy Perez, our Expanded Learning Supervisor, and hiding is Alex Gonzalez, our Administrative Assistant in Expanded Learning. We are a mighty team of three. And I also want to just acknowledge that we recognized Alex yesterday with Administrative Assistance Day. And I just wanted to say shout out to all our administrative assistants and all of our school sites on the district. Without them, the custodians, we could not run the school. So I just wanted to acknowledge our administrative assistants. It is my deepest honor to present this resolution proclaiming April 20th to the 24th, 2026 as After Schools Professionals Week. Our school district's expanded learning programs serve nearly 900 students before and after school, during summer, and during intersession days. Our staff work tirelessly every day at the elementary sites. They're there on site opening the doors at 6 a.m. for families. They're there providing academic and enrichment programs to all of our students in our districts, TK through grades 12. I was also honored to recognize Kathy Machuca. She's one of our 6 coordinators at our school sites. And without them, we could not do what we do to serve the students in our community. I just wanted to acknowledge all of the work that they do, and their presence at our schools make a big difference to our students and our parents. And I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to recognize them this week.
Thank you, Carol. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none. Is there any on Zoom? No, okay, I'm going to close public comment and I'm going to invite a motion to adopt.
I motion.
Second.
Okay, now I'm going to open it up for discussion or questions or comments, and I'm going to start with you, Rick.
Just thank you team for all you do and all the rest of your team. The after school program has just got super great over the past few years, like way improvement, and very appreciative, and I see all the programs that the kids are doing, and now they're traveling to other schools, and that's just amazing. Your guys' vision. I know Jeremy a long time. I know your vision, and Alejandra. I mean, you guys are a great team. So you're very appreciated, and thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Martha?
Congratulations. You guys deserve to be here, and thank you for being here so late at 9:32.
Yes, thank you.
But at the end of the day, 900 students, that speaks volumes, of all the support that you guys are giving our students from 6 a.m. till, I don't know, is it 6 p.m.? 6 p.m. Going by the schools and seeing how many kids are participating in the after-school program, just because when I go by Echo Valley all the time. And again, all the programs that you guys provide, the creativity. Thank you for all your hard work and your dedication. This program is so needed. And this is why it's state funded, because it's a very important program to get our kids engaged, especially with, our demographics, with a lot of families working, late at night. I'm glad that we have this type of program to support our kids. So thank you guys for being a part of it and keeping it innovative and creative for our students. So thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Angela?
Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a long time. Actually, miss hearing I miss hearing your programs.
Yeah.
So I want to say, you guys definitely deserve this resolution. See more of you. Like I said, from everybody who works at Nest. I keep hearing wonderful things. They want to still work at Nest. Everyone tells me, because they all call me and you see the emails where I get CC'd without me asking.
Yeah.
They're very fond of your program. I want to say you guys are doing a great job. And I can't wait to see what the new activities you're going to bring for summer.
Yeah, thank you, Angela. Thank you for the work that you do to support students and provide those unique experiences that they're not getting in the classroom. For some of our students, it can develop a passion in them that perhaps they didn't know. And then it also gives them an opportunity to participate, because not everybody might make the sports team, but everybody can play flag football. So thank you for the work you do to support our students and their enrichment. And I'm going to ask for a vote. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2025-2636, proclaiming April 20th through the 24th as After School Professionals Appreciation Week, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, motion is adopted. Thank you very much. Okay, our last agenda item of the night is public disclosure of sunshine proposals for 26-27 collective bargaining, NMCFT and NMCUSD.
That is exactly what I was going to say. So thank you, board, Superintendent Turkey. So the Educational Employment Relations Act and Government Code, let me get this right, 3547 requires that we publicly disclose our openers for the negotiation sessions. So before you tonight, you have the openers for AFT and the mirrored openers for the district. And those openers are Article 13 class size, Article 11 calendar and hours of employment, Article 18 compensation, Article 19 health and welfare benefits, and Article 17 safety conditions of employment. And there you have it. Looking forward to a collaborative negotiations season.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment on Zoom? I'm going to close public comment and I will invite a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Yeah, is this?
It's just to accept, it's just public disclosure, no vote necessary. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Or information. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So we've accepted it. Is that it? Okay, thank
Unless
you.
you have questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any questions? I'm sorry, guys. Are there? Okay.
Yes.
It just keeps going.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, thank you, Curtis, is board requests for information and or possible agenda items. I'm going to start with you, Rick.
I wanted to see if we could get an agenda item on with staff research, so the board can discuss if something that we may want to do on staggered scheduling to alleviate, traffic and, maybe alleviate some other things too. Other districts in the surrounding counties in our county have a few schools that do it. So just something for us trustees to discuss if we have the research from staff
Okay, so let's evaluate staggered schedules.
for elementary specifically.
Okay. Any other items, Rick?
Yeah, just one more on the JPA we have with Community Human Services. There's a new CEO, and I think it'd be beneficial if our community heard what they do and what we give the, few $1,000s a year for. And he said it would take super quick. So if you guys can- yeah, it'll be quick. Sean Stone, his name is.
Okay,
And that's it.
thank you. Martha?
I don't know if this is on a future agenda item, but I just wanted to double check because I know we've had lots of presentations of all the various schools, but I was wondering with regarding the high school, could there be like a presentations from the counselors department to see how they're doing? Especially now that we're towards the end of the year and just kind of, I know there's 5 and we've made some changes, in that department. So maybe a presentation on, their caseload and the number of students on FAFSA and all that stuff that they're doing.
I can't remember if that was a workshop item or not, but I guess you can look at what we have as a pending list.
I don't believe I have that as a workshop item.
Okay.
So however we decided, but I'd love to get an update on that.
Anything else, Martha?
No, because I know they're doing great things. I'd love to see what's going on.
Okay. Angela?
I have nothing.
No board requests? Okay, I don't either. Okay. At this point, I'm gonna invite a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay,
And
all those in favor? Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned at 9:38 PM.
Yay.
Okay.